Numa omo ye na just omo ya mamofo awudifo I say Pharisee ene ni omo nam enti ye say ye sha asiafi Ghana Small Scale Miners Association eyeku a omo te no 2011 na omo General Secretary Eddie Godwin Ama the General Secretary from the year 2020 MSC ne odaso ye General Secretary Godwin Ama dwenanu wo Ghana ha oni TV stations akese ni nkitwa nyina ye interviews omo de omuchi galamsey no kra nambo ye call on the site babi a wo tubi ewo chebi adadientem insutem ena ye fede den osino esifa wani behwe ese wani na ense o kache wa se o tumpa won kataso ada no nyumate sa na ebi Kofi Amabo a wo Minister of Lands and Natural Resources ono so ye wo gidie se onim sa na Sami Jemfi o ye CEO ewo gold board no ye nsusu ye mu ne se na o mu nim se Godwin Ama no o se ye nsase na ye dia betudwa with video documentation evidence hardcore evidence ye best rom animu ya akurase maka manwe omon training sinsan wo board no so fatase obetna gold board so because onye responsible and is not mining responsibly and no ko si on my do ko say Minerals Commission Mr. Yisida no ya to omonkra say Godwin Ama Transeco Mining and Minerals and Mining Company no omon revoking the license san say kwanya emra ya hihya to o se yem fanya mining no onimra no so
all the counsel for the petitioners are all politicians and politically exposed persons. Chachu Chikata, nobody can be more of a politician than Chachu Chikata. President Mahama's lawyer in the 2020 presidential election petition, and who subsequently became lawyer for Daniel Ofori in the court, and the same Daniel Ofori turns out to be the petitioner against the Chief Justice, and that same person who was President Mahama's lawyer now is the lawyer trying to prosecute the Chief Justice before the Committee of Inquiry. It's very, very serious. The President's lawyer, Chachu Chikata, is the one who is leading the assault against the Chief Justice. And then Saido Sori, lawyer for the Speaker of Parliament, Aban Bagbe, also leading the charge against the Chief Justice. So you see two arms of government, the executive and the legislature, their respective counsel are the ones going against the Chief Justice. And then you find Baka Famo, also who were in President Mahama's office and did all kinds of activities against the NPP government, clearly politically exposed, also part of the team. So if there's any group of people who have actually politicized this process, it's the NDC. And I do not think that my entry into it changes the story at all, because as far as I'm concerned, my record of defending the judiciary and standing up for the independence of the judiciary and deploring unjustified interferences with that independence, which is assured by the Constitution, is there for all to see. And my record of conducting constitutional cases and all that is also there for all to see. So I think that these statements more or less are a distraction. The court ought to look at the merits, or the public ought to examine the merits of what the Chief Justice has put before the Supreme Court.
Now I will sing that Mahama is the hope, is the hope, is the hope. Every Ghanaian,
for Mother Ghana,
every Ghanaian,
yes,
yeah,
he's the hope.
For now, Mahama continues to be the hope. For now, Mahama continues to be the hope for every Ghanaian until further notice. You can't run away from the fact that at a GPI4, we see yes, and then they able to petrol 15 days, and no problem.
You have to transport first.
Transport, and no problem, but for now, I see. In times that we find ourselves in, I see. Mahama continues to be the hope, ably supported by governor, finance minister, and then team. No.
Yes.
Sikano, sa American she say bi, sa London she say bi, and we are she say bi na amana destabilize and purpose. But for now, Mahama continues to be the hope.
The hope.
The examine yan wa cry back cry obi. Also filling stations bebrea. Substandard fuel. And you move accurate fuel and so now. Now there's a build up of about 350 people. I had taken away a show or mine baby to ensure
from NPR
from the Farmers Authority and Trade Ministry to ensure that sa see komsana ye be show ye be set to afidi anywhere ye ja hokwa now I was I set at the for those things are going to happen. What did be ato ncha Nimdia MPP abanya in terms of your gold reserves are up no my be enhance no e mani nya nsuanso kakra e we cedi to your dollar no cause cedi to pound cedi to euro ni nyina no e hwinhwan eba from which
is really good
mesre guta for so
but it's painful that I would submit a petition for the removal of a chief justice, but where the chief justice gives me no option by involving himself or herself in the naming of Supreme Court justices. That's just one leg of my petition. The second leg was in the reconstitution of panels that have already started hearing cases. If you read the Constitution tells us that once a panel starts to hear a case, that panel cannot be changed. In fact, the Chief Justice has no administrative authority over that panel. He couldn't tell them sit today or I'm moving one person out of the panel, because if she did that and if we allowed a Chief Justice to do that, the Chief Justice will be interfering with the decisional independence of court panels. I mentioned specific cases in which this had happened. I indicated in my petition that I'll bring Justice Jamafe to testify about these things. And then third, I raised the question of how decrees were being used to regulate the courts, contrary to the Constitution. The Constitution says, look, if you are going to issue any directives about how courts should operate, do that with a constitutional instrument, and it specifies an elaborate process. The reason for that elaborate process is because we don't have an imperial Chief Justice who can just do whatever she wants. The Chief Justice is subject to the Constitution, and if you want to if you want to come out with a rule, there's a rule-making process. You have to meet with the Judicial Council. You have to have a constitutional instrument. It has to be laid in Parliament. It has to take a certain number of days to ripe, and then once it ripens, it becomes the law. But the Chief Justice was on her own doing these things, and this is the reason why I got involved. And I thought that if that or those things that she was doing were not addressed in a very fundamental way, we stand the risk of allowing future Chief Justices to do that because of the precedent that had been set by her. There's a reason why from Redu through Akwa to Georgina Wood to Sophia Kufu to Ani Yabua, none of them ever attempted to name somebody to the Supreme Court because they knew that was fatally and incurably flawed and wrong and unconstitutional and constitutes a violation of their oath of office.
Memo akwaba Ediba TVXYZ baby awa wo hwe bibia no. Wo so awutie Power 97.9 FM memo akwaba Ediba Jumedia ya today inside politics Jumedia so we Ghana's biggest political platform ye de niam fa amanyosem ho ne mekoso na ye de brewo sa Jumedia so bibia wo bia no akwaba biom imo man selfish catch on you bi na no so country ni nu bi na mo fa to TVXYZ any Power 97.9 FM. Make us say we call a social media platforms so so ube hu ye wo so Power 979 FM Facebook so na TVXYZ Ghana no so ube to me ahwe wo Facebook and TikTok and meka ho ye kwa YouTube XYZ Broadcasting no so ube to me ahwe na WTB ma ekoso nyina edi amedeso ye Nicholas ya owusio so no ube to me Afremike Nicholas e prepare aboafo mo bomachi dom memfa na sekesema me executive producer Mr. Kelvin Asante ono na o produce show we saso na eko MCR omo hu me wo TV so ye Uncle Peter wo MCRB saso na Ralph Jampo ansa na ora Abbas so wo ho na waso niam mu ye na ye ntwebi sa na tie Abbas so ye cheche o papa yakwa sound Mr. Emmanuel Nete wo ho saso na ye ebusianfo mo dem ho yina mi cheche amo yembra cameras ube hu Miami Chrome ni takrade ni Francis so cameras and Francis editor so or my name so assistant cameraman ono so ha obi a we siesie mam ho aye family abetena ye Miami nuaba Elizabeth Tego we siesie papa tete se me Kofi Ameti bi obetena me kemu meteno no eti ende yaje nkonya atena so no nsem ho a ye ba na eboboebu mu na yakọ na nsa na me ba nsem no so no Mamenko Multi-Choice Ghana Limited, operators of DSTV, Digital Satellite TV. Metene say, men country ora Sam George, Minister in charge of communication. One digital service satellite TV funding como DSTV. Go DSTV they be omu increase omu subscription ni niama omu kache ye ne say. Your friend is $1 na kosoro. Says ya $1 na ba fompa. Inti Multi-Choice Ghana. More operators of DSTV. Yes, Remo. Most monteteso. Ghana fo. Yempe me ekosoro. Sisi anamatum. Yes, $1 na ekosoro. Sidi ni depreciate. Says ya sidi na appreciate. Ma $1 na etumi depreciate. Enti eye DSTV. Digital Satellite Television. DSTV. Yes, Remo. Most monteteso. Na matutu ma akosoro do DSTV. Ora Sam George. Hwemayen. Fiza Ghana for asha say kasa DSTV no. Esra no mli kom the $1 na awa yesa. Esi $1 e depreciate. Enti DSTV. Moso montete so mayen. Moso montete so mayen. Anyesa yesu ye be demonstrate afa saade no ho pa because ye protest ya enya de a ebe ye we. Ya tete niam so ntumo tete so edwomfo tete omo niam so obi tete na niam so DSTV mo de $1 na de bia mo de ka asem kye mo so mon tete so emayen na bibia entumi enko enkan na ye ba and then sem egu bamba so a say suspended Chief Justice her leadership Gertrude Tokonu and that's all the same copy mu court na injunction application or yes order to committee o my say o mo behwe ne nsensem no so ye maami the course say oh sa committee ni de o mu ni ho kwan say ombema anase omobetumi atoto nano DSM na moma yentie ensem a ye maami enti a ode sansemi call court ye maami a say ya suspending na nsem ne nsem akodi de menji ndisa anhwe a obeba biom ofale supplementary affidavit the call Supreme Court no ocha say ya abusing a right impo na petition a committee omu probe nsensem no mu ni ho kwan se nsem kra na ekoso ani na no ombehwe no ma attorney general Justice Gabriel Scott Puaman Ansana Justice Samuel Kwame Adibu Asiedu Daniel Yawo Domlevo Major Flora Dalugu and son Professor James Sefa Zisa nyinaa no enya de a mo wokon se ombetena ne nsensem no so ode saa semi koe ebiom ose committee no fix date of for hearing abra omuntie ne council ye tre no lawyer nti na saa semi so koe ebiom ose committee ne decisions ne petitioners no omuso ombe ma omankasa ba no ma be ma evidence ane me nyinaa no enya de a ono maame no ososo so anase enye se omugitum ebiom ose nchensem ni na no say ekoso court or say ekoso court baby a yedi asem na muntumi nkasa omode ko bia security area na eba ne saa na omutietie ne fa ahodie so baby ompese omode nsem ne kona nya de a ombetumi aboa no bia mo say judicial independence no is under attack na plot bia unjustifiable omopese omuyi ono maame no when nsem bebre odo ko so osese no omutietie ne fa ahodie so ema na adwen kra no munda ho ene baby okotena ne nsensem ene ne mamu nsensem na odi tudwa na CJ so etumi ono so wa reply no se ye maame wonsem anase me say attorney general mo fanche me attorney general so etumi ano so a reply na aka kire ne say say wo hwe in camera say o kasa na camera wo ho a ma ye si no so o mo ne kasa no constitutional command geared by safeguarding not only the CJ but entire judiciary nti ade ano so o say etumi kosopa ebiom akache CJ say enya de a omoye bias law ni ye adwuma nti Supreme Court judges na or press yenyi wo muni na no enya de amfaso bia wo se ekoso na dwumedie no ko biom or say Justice Samuel Adibu ase edu no kra no enya de also participating in injunction hearing no therefore here says ania me na papa we obetina mu bi sa so no Justice Gabriel Scott poor man ono so age no say papa no ho kwan na petitioners nso obetumi atena so bi no obisa bias bi anim nti sansem amaame ne kan nyina no ade a rodaba asem anya de oso omugitum nti we ni nsem bebrende ama sebiwa omabo maame ne nsem negu na mati bia no committee ni betena asem no so na omaka ho ensem nti mebai ne say the suspended chief justice tukonu Gertrude leadership in injunction application ya dismiss it make us say court no and I say justice na omotena nsem no so na 5-member panel no omosi mami wonsem no ye de to and I say the copper yenyana enya de betena so nti aboegu nti metene say committee ni de ombekọ so aye omo adwuma asa ende ma ebepie mo no ebiom me yakọ nsem no so a former AG or lawyer de ma chief justice suspended Gertrude Tokonu Godfred Yeboah Odame no so reacted to decision a 5-member panel mutena asem no so mo kan bogu ye ene nsem ni na no yankonkwohwe a lawyer or ba ye maame Tokonu na mpo or former attorney general na nsem odi tudwa abra ye bon nsem no gu ye no
not surprising because someone follows the theme of what is witnessing, but yeah, I mean we move on. A lot of battles that we can fight. The process is flawed, no doubt. I mean, check is flawed, leading with all kinds of issues. And I'm quite surprised that the Supreme Court will be more or less acceding to the perpetration of such violations against the highest judicial official. It's not about Justice Tokonu, as I keep saying. It's not about Justice Tokonu at all. The issues are far-reaching and they actually hinge on matters which affect the independence of Ghana's judiciary, the security of tenure of judges and all. But the Supreme Court, for whatever reasons, have not seemed to take that view or so great. I think that in future, the whole nation will get to know the consequences of this.
You said there are more battles to be fought. Are there specific measures to be taken going forward?
I'm not here to disclose to you my line of action or plans. But clearly, what we can say is that this is a procedure that should be deployed. There cannot be a situation where a Chief Justice cannot face an inquiry set up by the Article 146 of the Constitution to determine some inquiries against some petitions against her. And she's not had notice of the specific charges in respect of which the Crown Fashi case has been made, the basis for such charges. And reasons why she's supposed to go through the inquiry. I mean, this is a basic right that is available to every citizen of the country. It's not an account of her being a chief justice or her requesting for a grant of higher rights than as do ordinary citizens. She's asking for basic constitutional right. The notice of charges that she's standing trial or she's supposed to respond to. The basis for saying that's the case for her to.
At the Atena, a former Attorney General, Sansuya lawyer, the suspended Chief Justice, her ladyship, Getri Tokonu, and the lawyer, no Chimono. And some of my church, Mammy say, Yeti and found this so, Hannah Drain, your friend is saying, my committee or Motina Semnosono, and Woma fixed date or man can't chain a lawyer and make Kahuinano. Assembly Bugu. Now, for the benefit of Yenri Anoma, Omutia radio, but what would TV do be? Mama Yanja, Mammy. I suspended Quine of Faso, Odira court, and Quine of Faso, Edifi court, Onana, Yetragu, or TVXYZ, so I'm Facebook Live in Amuhono, and T. Anona Air Cosson Monge, Monge, and Nona Dasono, a Quine of Faso, the buy any fire of Faso, or the Koye Nano, while was TVXYZ in print, and Nona a good TV no so a ye in Monge, and T. Yamame, no, suspended Chief Justice. No abro re mo ofosoro ho akono onena menu ye hu no monhwe nensem ni na no minim so fi pese so bi pese delay case no said you but asem no so mu di nentem na ye hu na say Chief Justice no action no betumi aye na adwuma kama because ono ankasa no wa admit waje atum waji asem na atum dada agana fu na ya we se waji atum enti wo hwa de etene no aha waye ni ti se ye nua ba eye dachi hima wo hwa ye maame on ni ti pese ne ba no dia wo hwa obehu iti a waye the same thing na waye ti ye maame no all for top ho no hwe wonhwe na eno na ede atoso nti court de omo koji omo se ha wa maame ni siko na ye omu omo anhye de omo hwe na ye waye nti ensem bebre na nkasa na abeto ho a sesi an CJ no former CJ anasa menka ne saying the suspended former demonfentemi the suspended CJ no nensam ni aboegu nti asem ne de bekoso camera besi wo so ma ye na ya hwebi na ye tie ma bekoso ho enya de obi a tie ne fa ho de so but ensam o mukani na ya pepe eno na da ho na ye pepe nchemi bi anim asem na da ho no nti ye pepe de eteno no nti eno na ye hu na papa ya friend no owura entwibosi akon yes entwibosi akon ye ka entwibosi akon adodo na nkasa friend no chairman wuntumi aha time a okọ school wo prempe no no ye athlete okọ 3 years anu jaye aha na friend Bengazi nti omo call prempe school no to America edema prempe na chairman wuntumi na dodo na friend no ye be hu sendra chi chairman wuntumi ni AGR former AGR no ye ne lawyer di mu bi ekopie mu wo CID headquarters ana police headquarters okopie mu ho me pa cho bebre ensem bebre na no mo kan wo ho okofie adechi ye no san reporting no so reporting na o reporting wie ye no okone na yoko so hia no enti yoko so actually kofa chairman wuntumi enti ndura ye ni meye echi the chairman so yare na esiye nja ma wonko ibedi wachi akọ na chairman wuntumi nsem no so wo echire a mepesa Ghana ni bi atie no tie ni yie obi antan chairman wuntumi muntie ni yie meni wu nyina na Ghana fu nyina mo mudi na chi bo se ye dede na munim ye well aware the chairman wuntumi ensam bebre bon no ho ensam bebre bon chairman wuntumi ho chairman wuntumi akọ exim bank akwaje bosia ni tua ne mu nsem bebre ka ho enti wonima wakwaje bosia ye hu kwanye obeye we ebiom January ayeto abawie ye transfer sika huge 56 million could go to my wuntumi account him no so no ye ni mo ye ma akoko board e de seska no we ansa na contamine sama boy insensem no chema wuntumi nsema sabi e fa ne ho no wuti wa no ye na che me hu sa nkofi omuko gina hoyi sa wahwa MPP fu ankasa no ne supporter bebre na ankasa ehu Chema wuntumi dwumedi a wedi we no omudi nkomo omo chema wuntumi bone a odi no nko anko nti aye me hu se ndra ebi mu kwatena ho ma mete kura ne se sibi ebi mu toto obo de bo police cars mu ni ade ho omo ha eye ma your friend say media men bi omu kopie mu ho wa hwe nkofo omu to nti se wa wo be sori ekodi chema wuntumi sabi wa echi no na bia wo nda kete so anasa woda wo 14 to your friend say pillow so yem fan for your friend sundi one day be so because Ghana ni bia wan kasa mo hwe ni NPP fo a omadwen mu da ho ampanifo mu ni mede hwan na so ko enya na bi ni omo mumu general secretary na ekogina ho omo na ekogina ho hwe boys bi omo kogina ho omo nyina wo hye NPP mpanifo ya omo guru sini no omo se o chairman wuntumi afom enti mbrani ndi na sabi wa yoko ho na nkofo ka na yoko yenim nipa bebre ko ho MPP wo omo invite nipa bebre ko ho na yoko nkofo ko mu wa na yate so obi akwa yoko mo wewuda obi enwu ho enti sabi wonsam no mu ko bisa no no sense oso yare nti ye ne na akoto hospital but ensem ne de obeyi ano MPP mpanifo bebre akasa se chema wuntumi embra se mbra ni ndi ambra ni ndi enti we Ghana ni na wutie mi a mepese wutie ni yie pa chema wuntumi enye obi na time no ni video obi a otiem Ghana for monsori MPP monso hwan na eka na enye MPP a sabiwa enye MPP anche chema wuntumi so etumi ye friend say o say national chairman ti who born dog ende wo be kasa national chairman hwan na town abaina na Ghana obi enten na samo tiem na Ghana fumbro sa video no ho anche mu yi ma me na ye boy ma Ghana futie ye ende chairman wuntumi also a governor of Ashanti ono no tumi kasa hai His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ba Ashanti regional ohia permission efi no ho kutu catch that Sunday no hutuntum sa semi no kai me se ni video bi na no tiem na ho amunyi na Ghana funtie enti Ghana ni bia asabewa oda kateso edi ni ti tusundi so ana oda kateso bia nsori nkodi chema wuntumi echi wo de monhwe omo kogina ho omo nkogina ho omo ye dede nipa ne ya he wo MPP penifo ni bi ho obi anko koso obi enim se chema wuntumi sabewa dwumedi bia wedi wo Ghana ha no sabewa mambo adwumedi sika ekoto na account Exim Bank loan oje ansa na akonta mine bone a wedi wo sama ba opo mu ho to meje a license abra nya say ye license say ko de kwina kwai exploration na ubakwana chama wuntumi mu hyemu etu sama boy fo ene sama boy timber se wo ho workers hom concession na mutumi wurom so ana omo bro mo ka ho wedi bone sei na Ghana ni wo ye Ghana ni a wo ho a wo se mekodi na chi yenja no sembra no ene ni di ene ni ndi weko funkoku no nipa yeti weko yati se nipa akoweko wude obi enkonkowu ensem no mu bisa no ensem no okoyi ano enti chema wuntumi de ensem wo ho so oyi ano enti wo ho na sabe wa wo ye wadwuma dwene wo ho ayade a waye mambo esem a osa mrani ni di enti ensem bisa no mu bisa no obi antano Ghana funtie obi antan chema wuntumi eyembra ne nsem bi asabi oso yi ano na okoyi ano what I say enti sa wo ho na chema wuntumi mumbro sa video mu yi ante nti asem chema wuntumi na efre Ghana fo no bu Ghana fo anti otumi because of course have a good bass the good TV so yes mama yenti sa asam no kan
minya Ghana ni bio because they say the one we never president nti minya Ghana ni bio Ghana for Musorio, Ghana for Musorio, and before you know Musorio, and before you know Musorio, I am Munti and a Mahama MC. And before I am Munti and a Mahama MC. This vice president is that. Me, my don't want to soda. Me, my DC order. Me, my minister da. I am chairman in the media. And I want to be campaigning, mammy. I'm not me campaign my party and I'm here Juma Sadia I will say more also with the my winning one winning young Mahama only president of Ghana. It's new fly and soon 2013 we are tired of the boom Juma Mubu Majuma, any idea in Yabaya no. Manka Bibia, Abia was a Bia Manakai. Mubaye, Matopi Majuma, Macau to Pa, Bidia was one. Me, Macau to Club, Bidia was no. Sebetia, me must school fees, club higher. What I say, most of them will start to my account to so, and you know, Nasabi, me, sick a bicycle bane of the family, a bicycle bane, and a befa won't be what? Me, my account.
It's a Ghana for Muntie, and that time I won't to your Cassani say, I'll say Ghana formula, MPP formula, MPP for na crano munim se wedi for no. Oh, no munim se chema won't to me, and some born who also be alcohol. Why nembra? An officer Ghana for an antiquity. No. Ye dware free so na de kofom. Sa na tie. Enti wa wo be sori a wo nhwe wadwuma bi a wo ye. Ni dwuma di pa bi a wo di obekwa akọ no. Na chema wo ntumi mfre. Se momro hwa na emra. Wan kwankwaji loan no so utua. Sika na beto wa account im na ti sei. Akonta mine na wa hye sama boy pom ho a enye se o kohye ma. Wadi ye bone no. Yanya o de ase wo ne mra no kohye. Enti sem na ye bisaw. Enti minim obi asabe wa. Oda mpaso obetwin se mame nso nem kodi chema wuntumi achi. Ha? Endo no no otia no wayemre. Ono tumi ka se His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ba Sanchez no so oji permission fino ho. Ha? Obi antan obi a. Ghana na ye dembra na ye adwuma. Enti His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ono no ewe ko boss ana. No! Embra no mudi ye adwuma. Enti ensem no ma otia no so ye Ghana ni na wahu mekwa e de teno no chema wuntumi matese odan wo hospital no ho nto no nkoso ento an ensem so fi se ensem a ekoso no ha adwene ye pa mamenko His Excellency John Dramani Mahama papa bi aban papa nyamenam no so de aba odin ensem atodwa na minim se Ghana fu bebre na ka se 24-hour economy 24-hour economy. Ebe roll out to the bay. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Day were engaging key sectors on 24-hour economy. Abroad more roll out. Now, on these stakeholders, a didn't come more consultation. Acquiring first on driver implementation of the policy. Na aim so mbe boost productivity and so no create jobs on my hands say a service delivery across critical sectors of the country. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama kasa enti we Ghana ni na wo hwemia ne kura woman say 24-hour economy oreba pa miss nene oreba pa ye nyina ye krado fi say mbo bia abande beboa ma 24-hour economy no ejina no ebejina enya se bia odo anadi ndwan but ya so ankrankra ye dwuma bi ho a ye nim se ye 24-hour beboa no ombeboa boa ye ye mampanimfo hu secretariat ni hu mbo bia ye hia bia omfa mboa ye na ye so no ankranku ndwuma no 24-hour economy no omuntume ye enti we ye Ghana ni a mete no ye nkokotie president papa bi asomdwe hene president a sebe ye nsiana nche oman ye dole ya se depreciate masidi appreciate se si aniama kofom lorry fares ahro a ye teso no ye pay we no pede se o hia Ghana ni bi os Ghana ya asomdwe ye His Excellency the nation's builder yenti enimra.
This meeting is a crucial part of our national reset. It concerns the rollout of the 24-hour economy policy, specifically the 24H Plus program and the accelerated export development framework, which many of you have already adopted and supported in many ways. Let me begin by offering a clear lens to understand the 24-hour vision. It's both a destination and a program. As a destination, the 24-hour economy policy reflects a state where Ghana's productivity and capital utilization will become so high that we'll have to operate in multiple shifts across day and night, maximizing the return on infrastructure, on human resources, and innovation. This idea captured the public imagination during the 2024 campaign and it remains at the core of our drive towards full employment and inclusive economic growth. As a program, the 24-hour economy demands a deep and deliberate restructuring of our productive economy. We must re-engineer our production systems from top to bottom, boosting volumes and diversity and shifting from reliance on raw materials towards the export of value-added products, wholesome foods, pharmaceuticals, garments, industrial inputs, and digital services. Earlier this month, I received the complete draft of the 24-hour economic policy from my advisor, Mr. Guzi Tano. I have reviewed it, and I'm confident we now have a coherent and actionable framework with which to deliver the results. An effective catalyst for the 24-hour economy policy is a stable macroeconomic environment, which we are achieving through close coordination between the monetary and fiscal authorities. But the program goes beyond macroeconomic stability, which already, like I said, is being pursued by the Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Ghana, and focuses sharply on production, enterprise, jobs, and exports. At its core is an integrated value chain transformation approach. This approach addresses structural bottlenecks not in isolation, but comprehensively through infrastructure, finance, land systems, logistics, and skills development. One of its boldest proposals is the development of the Volta Lake Economic Corridor. This corridor, centered on the Volta Lake and the Volta Basin, will become a national production zone and logistics span. The plan envisions cultivating over 2 million hectares of arable lakeside land, revitalizing the fisheries sector on the lake, and creating a chain of industrial parks that produce goods for domestic and regional markets. To support this corridor, the lake will be activated as a transport highway, moving food, people, and goods more efficiently than our congested roads allow us to do currently. New floating assets, lake ports, and long-term investment partnerships will be developed in coordination with the Volta River Authority and the private sector. We must move beyond just hydropower and unlock the broader economic potential of this beautiful national asset. But the Volta Lake Corridor is only part of the broader plan. The 24-hour economy program identifies priority value chains across all regions, and these include agro-processing, pharmaceuticals, textiles, light manufacturing, tourism, digital services, and the creative economy. Each one has specific bottlenecks, and the program outlines targeted solutions. On infrastructure, the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund will lead efforts to develop industrial parks, logistics hubs, and upgrade transport links. On financing, the Development Bank of Ghana and the Venture Capital Trust Fund will scale up value chain finance for SMEs, cooperatives, and agribusiness in priority sectors. On land, we will develop local land banks, zone, titled, and investment ready to reduce any delays and uncertainty to investors. On skills, the Aspire 24 sub-program of the 24-hour economic policy will be launched to train young people for shift-based work, digital roles, and entrepreneurship. And on incentives, we'll introduce tax reliefs on machinery and inputs, fast-track regulatory approvals, and export facilitation. The 24-hour economy program is not a top-down model. It is decentralized. Each district will establish its own 24-hour implementation task force, housed within the district and municipal assemblies, and aligned with our local economic development policy. This decentralized approach will allow each region to define and lead its path of industrial transformation based on its natural comparative advantages. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no longer just a vision, it is a structured, sequenced, and inclusive plan, and its implementation is beginning. I've authorized the 24-hour Secretariat to begin detailed program design and investment packaging. The draft program document will be released publicly on Tuesday for broader consultation, and I will invite you to help us finalize it. We will officially launch the 24-hour plus program in July this year, most probably on Ghana's Republic Day, which is a symbolic day for a bold new national agenda. To guarantee institutional stability, I'm working with Parliament to establish the 24-hour Economy Secretariat as an independent authority, reporting directly to the President and backed by legislation. This will ensure strong coordination, investor confidence, and delivery continuity. Let me end by returning to where I started, that is gratitude. To thank you for your input, for your partnership, and your patience. And thank you for believing in Ghana's ability to reset, retool, and rise to the occasion. The 24-hour economic policy is not just a policy, it is a national compact for shared growth, for decent jobs, for competitive exports, for thriving local economies, and long-term prosperity. We now have to move to the hard work of delivery together. Let us make Ghana a nation where opportunity never sleeps. I thank you, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Okay, may God bless our homeland, Ghana. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President Papa B, Wamba, Choman Ghana, Yakoto Dichim. What His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Baya, 5 months on a yesimio, Ghana for 5 months on, but the entrance me depa odi, yen the pa oye. We are Ghana near me pacho be brain, who buying papa. Made them ye man to ye man this international forever. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, woda bompire man so mana honting, o man unkwa. Na me pacho man nyansa ne adwen. No fembu mano. Fi se form 5 months out, a juma maye no. A bradwen entiasie so. We are Ghana near. We huma Ghana eko. Says ya no transport fares ye titiso. Muko joman kakra kranko fasha se titin near maso. A bradwen entiasie so. Yenhwe. Ye see di ne says ya appreciate you. Dolly ne depreciate. And to says ya near me kofom. And near ma kofom. Mama ya mompae. Say abine ni penfo etwa omosi omubu mine say finance minister Dr. Ato Forson yenua Samuel Jemfi young lawyer Sami Jemfi or the gold board ano omonde pa policies ahro omodie guso a ama Ghana yesidi ni nya hoden no enkoso nyesa me pa cho wonso ni nipa nti meme ya mafemu de a na wo so aye wafemu de na yetumi aye 24-hour economy no no ho a enche mu boma me pa or the asempa na bo 24-hour economy nkomo archives ni mumbo na yemfa enye yi kakra because flagship programmer says ya wakasa fa hono Ghana fu yem ato omokoma to mo yem na bebre na e na mo bisa okin says ya ka 24-hour economy you na eno na ye pese ye enti says ya His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wetumi akasa on his stakeholders consultation ahro ekwan omofa so drive implementation of the policy ono no dia tudwa enti we na eba na be boost productivity ebetumi ama bibia etumi akonkan na bibia etumi adede sa video no wandom no nche mo bomame odi asempa na bo 24-hour economy se wodo Mahama ha and this is His Excellency Wakaserie 24-hour economy a shasye on the near me to form a cookie them on day no mu bomahwe na them ye implementing kama na bibia atodi amount and the endom se munya na ma let me na me hu na yetumi de di asa kakra na Ghana fu hu say no 24-hour economy no e ho pa yes Emre ye be call a Power Specialist Herbal Hospital me ameti he die I can testify say wunima me ka kiro omo wonra horo a e wodwaman so a ebo ni papa Power Specialist Herbal Hospital ohine yere eye edu aya na mepacho odano na kwanya nyamenam no so di bo adwuma no wo hwe jirikaji a behind the scenes how anan kofu di erisi wa ha no obi person ogi bi nti odi ne sisi na odi ka St Peter jirikaji male vitality ansa no nya hebate no boma ohene ba wie ya no ohene ba fro se kin hey bo adwuma bruta aha wonya bi ebebo ansa na mala mix no so for your malaria fever liver care ono so for your liver hia pa yi ansa na mojaduro no so ewo mu no eye edu aya eye herbal tonic eno so ebo adwuma ansa na SK ni na no showcase no ha wo behu nti wo hwe TV no so a eno na eda nche no me ma me papa bi ma fe no doctor ka chere no wo de me ni problem na mo mi enya problem ya ma na ati ase aha because ba fi am na me work come on the first nti Power Specialist Herbal Hospital papa bi me nkran ha de obehu omo eye poko as ACP pem ho amoho takrade so me amana estate ansana eye kumasa so fe yase Lake Busomtwe kwana so Jesbro filling station wa hosu no obehu no enti me ka say Dr. Oheneba forever young bibia is on point Dr. do say me mo chimi shedem no cherem say kwani say ono ati ase na ye chimi ehu enti Dr. Oheneba bibia boko de eto say bia na bi mu se me ji wadwuma na ye but ade papa de edi ho dance oh no cre ma nendro bia na me no hwe wo ba how we see the brass band is here.
Yes.
Enti enye easy. There be o ba na wa makwan ma.
O ma dia dance.
Na how be so ni sisi kire wo no. Na che say.
Say the sisi na ye adwuma.
Eduano
anye. The phone so atwe.
Pa. So say atwe kama pa. And say no sha dia na boom. And so say anu ayekama. Doctor Diana aye Power Specialist Herbal Hospital wo ma ye wie.
Me da say abusia ye mo akwa ba Power Time bre aso Power Specialist Herbal Hospital. Yadin Chefri as Dr. Penya or the hospital and Dr. Akosia Edu Ayaho. The mobi bia brebia ojebre na osha Power Time utie Power Time. There be an some American said the Crawford power ho dance here. TV so, radio so, internet rem yahodo no bonsu be ka dance for no bi. Say no wa man ni UK US nem yahodo. Da bia wo motonkra won botimi boss me sister bi wo UK, me sister bi wo US, me brother bi wo ha. Ono na ofre me mpo ka kire me say me mra ha beto aduro e fan send no. Ono wo Togo, Cote d'Ivoire ni ade ne da bia. Ene so mo eba kura ni adanse die no ayekese. Sa wo Ghana ha. De ye kan say yade bia how bia baby asasa do ani kire na unya wa yaresa enye se ye manage o yade na mawo enye se ye brebre o yade na se na mom ye tu yade no asa fru ni padua mu no Bra Power Specialist Herbal Hospital Kumase Enkran anasa takra this is say do no afra last stop say this on fire yade ne ma ensa amfa anko de berada Oba power yenya brewe ni padua ni mu yebehwehwe modjam lab papa bi a ohia sema ye no beye ye di mfide behwehwe ni padua ni mu so ohia sema utwa scan so ohia sema ye x-ray bibi biara asase ma wo ye ni ehu de ekoso ni padua ni mu no ye beye ansa ni de do account ye wo Kumase won kran ena ye water cry de Kumase wo fe yase ye ni Jasper Flame Station di enhwani mu wo aputoja contrast kwan no so Lake Road ena ye wo Accra wo Kwabenya ACP kwan sane block factory no edi enhwani mu na fe takra de wo Anaje Estate Customs Road ye ni singa washing bay no so di enhwani mu numbers miensa ena de ye adwuma wo de frɛ yen number no mu bia wo fra ye no bobon komo ni a kyerɛ ye kyerɛ kwan branch na ebe ho no ni ama direction abaho abegye wa yaro sa numbers ni 0555 79 78 78 0200 38 38 31 and 0244 54 44 22 Monday to Saturdays and the year juma wo ba ebamboa atu ade no sen 10 ama ho timi ato obi biara wo hwe Power Time utie Power Time what test hepatitis B positive tieniye yade we yade bi awiase nyina ase ani aduro enkrofo bo mudi ni suo wasema kwotena ha bese 2 years manuma duro ha bese 3 years me kwai no mo se akọ me konya adwuma me tu kwan me kwai medical serious ade na saba mesro hepatitis B untreat hepatitis B mane nko negative na ensa ma biemu da eye yade a yade wo enti ye ensa nko wo biem ene onya yare no ema obi anada o hepatitis B nya mfifire mu na yenya no se obi hu mfifire kan wa benya bi wokin se obi a obi benya bi true saliva no benya bi woni obi a obi nya mpam kita wudi a true simi no benya bi sent ni se o mo say the transmission no a true body fluid misro hepatitis B se mfifire mu na yenya no a kani afo trotro ko bia hepatitis B ema obi anada o Power Specialist Herbal Hospital yenimu yade no sade ete yenimu yade ne faribai yenimu ahyenso de ya yade ne mu se one treat and complications nsanso a betime de abra no yenimu ye na yaje hepatitis B yade no ne sa ho abodine Ghana ani amono ne yaje awodo awodo bebre ye wa dance de ye wo nipa ye betime de ensa atene mu so akase se nipa we no oyade ne etu asefri ne mojam da bia bia metra me kase wo mo so mo yade de do no bia no wa dance de ba ko pempo so betime de obi atena ho ma nipa na de ade ansasa me na onya na no keke no de ka de report aka ho ai de ansasa ampa nipa no oyare no viral say na wo ni mojam ye tu ase ama ne ko just a Power Specialist Herbal Hospital teniye Power Specialist Herbal Hospital any hospital ba ko pa ya wa dansidie ya wa bodini ya ja wodo ahodo chese yade no yetimi tu ase firi mogya ne mu so what test hepatitis B positive say ya ukunu say ya oyere say ya oba say ya onua bi amane koturu sika ngu ba bia woni ba ho so na yefu na ho no na liver no na say na wani asogo aye very yellow yes onya jaundice edu sabre no a na doctor no ka kire say yeyi wa kofie afa na mo pepper wa kira kwan e bia bedu sampo so no na liver na say awie enne ya wo hwe power time enne ya wutie power time enne ya wunim say what test hepatitis B positive enne na say otumirika eba Power Specialist Herbal Hospital Kumasi Encrine anase eyeta krade ya na onfe ya wo ya wo chika say wo chibremu no ya wo ya de ho abi enye okoko ha eya wo ya ase hit bu oni pedua no brebia wo de ketu abi na yafu na hye na ayekutu sensi am no kasa yafu na ho no wo na se tatai woni aye yellow misraw fatty liver de no ho agem wo liver na aye srade wo liver no ahonho no wo liver no achenchene fatty liver enlargement liver cirrhosis so akọ scan so akọ hospital nia kasanse mo no bi akyerewa Tumrikabra Power Specialist Herbal Hospital and watching no here aduaya liver care aduaya hamanu pure herbal Food and Drugs Authority registered just to the amaye so when aduaya liver care ni bia aduaya ebesiese liver no fat na wo ho no ebenane no honhuna na batwetwe achenchene ni nyina ba yemre ama wo liver no san asini dada mu ebe hili liver no ama ho atimi ato aduaya liver care edu papa ebe ma wo yefuru na yekutu no wo yefuru nyina batwe wona wodi adanse no edoso se fatty liver na ama yefuru na honhono a wo yefuru na yekutu a ebe na ni nyina ama na twe ama yefuru na ye flat ama nso so ani atimi age Power Specialist Herbal Hospital wodi na kidney stones anasa kidney stones usisi achilowa back ho ya wo ya ho hyehyew ya na wa ya se nyina ye tan Johnson samna sha se ye basabasa kidney stone kidney stones oba power nyame ado ye waduro osa ya de bone ba ko betimi atete nkwana nyina akwamde wa yam ye oya aduane to ye ma yam ye oya udidi mi yam ye oya ya na se emfana be gina oyam enam se osa ye kronti no obutimi fono wutimi afe obuo no nyina yo ya de kopie wa chutanya headbands wudi dia na adwane jejabu indigestion ya na osa nyina titiriti misraw osa ebetimi adunya osa betimi ma wafon aye tantantan Tumrika Power Specialist Herbal Hospital Kumasi Encrine na se eyeta krade ya no ntina doctor kwaso edu aye hwehwemu no de hamanu pure herbal ebetimi asa osa yade na tu ase ekro bia wo yefunu no mu say a duodenal ulcer, say a peptic ulcer. We hear a duaya SK, that is stomach care. A ye juma papa. A bekumu yabu cloning na. I'm on what me at all. Ukoko ha a yaw ya at a show. Yan wa chika semu yaw ya jumba be a ye. Ulcer, a ya bonny bakwa. Answer so did ya grow. Mr. Tumrika Power Specialist Herbal Hospital. Bema bia o Jones or Samasha say a ya basabasa. Tieni. So one shadow one Tumrika ma power na yan shawa ma wodura wadi baba ho so no near the rubber asho bemum bedu baby na Johnson na entimi makura biem afe wa ya say resetan aya wo ya ojo ho ba bia enye yi kakra bi na Johnson do kwa ketua bi na aba wochima ansa na Johnson aba wo Johnson wi out nkasa Johnson bi akam wo Johnson wi ne moja di akire wo kwa Johnson aba ni nyina eye moja obu a wo Johnson ne beba mu ya ne beba mu hyehye no bia na ye prostate bia na ye blood that is cystitis bia ye ureter na so urethra bia ye kidney ana se bia ye untreated infections bi and that is problem no abro so prostate a sha say how so blood a sha say how enya sam ketwa wo ya se ya say tan ya wo ya Johnson no entime ma wo chemo a ansa na ba oba power ye wo duro ye be your lab ye be your scan e video be hwehwe ni nyina mu ni ya hwede de sa how na bro ni atako the course na tuade no ase ama wo ho atumi atɔ wo de na ye malaria what test malaria positive and now ma me be by was ye test malaria no was soro plus hey test wo ye no hwe nye ye awate agunu so kikini tipa no den ne ho ya hyehye na poso nyina ya omre mesrew uhia aduaya malamis wei aya malaria drop wei aya pure herba yenro ni nyina aya hamanu son abibia mfram atesatiti dudo no ni asone so broni sa no Food and Drugs Authority a register jatum di amayen na so ya rama ho to foforo dia na bonu munya ode untumi ni du ko kata so untumi na ene na ba hia adua ya herba tonic eye mojaduro eye hamanu ade eye mojaduro enuanu nonko a ene wo mu betimi adidi ye betimi adaye ubeye kama obeye fefefe ama wo so te a etibre bia no ni nyina nso so atwatimi atwa bo abere bia yesini moja so ate mo bia yesini moja awe misro ohia adua ya tonic herba tonic ni bi na abo sese di pedua na ho timi atɔ wo ya ba ma wo ya mre wo mpam adansedie no dɔso jirika jiri ni dini ne honam se jirika jiri wonya aduro ya baboa we anya aphrodisia da bi esayade bema da bia mekasa o bema na yentini ni moja pe kasa bia enim enti sentini mu sisi na moja ni ntimi agire ntini ni mu a na de mira oya no aba aduro de be ni se bayi ntini mu fi nyina afiri ho ama moja na be tai ntini ni mu anya se be ginam e be tai ntini ni mu te se eleki no na afi bema na timi agina so te se bema mu a na watimi abodwuma bema de tena sididi na da hosudidi ne ma wamo yankasa ampa wa ya dwuma na se onya aye malamis immune system booster no e de ka ho de a je se ba bia wudi amaw we be boost immune system no do so abodwuma no we na abrante bi di ho adanse no wose na okoto ankoto wotena se kakra bi na ni sisi se wo wine ni sisi ni se ya efe keke wunya sado bia ba boaw asiesi o mama sam no asiesi osisi no asiesi wuntiri no mu ama bibia ya kama mesrew ya de bia ha bia yentimi anka ho asam no Fabra Power Specialist Eba Hospital Kumase Enkran na afeta yeta krade awarefo amopa wo ya na de ye pepa nsam mienu nyina mo beba se oba na problem no ho ani ahwe se bema na problem no ho ani ahwe mema bebre o low sperm count nanso sa won ma ne de pressure ne ma wo mesam mienu nyina momra ye hwe de ha no ne mo fibroid oba esi wa wo kwan ema fibroid enye oyafunu moso ema fibroid enye awode nu moso obira wo pa eba wo pa space de anyi nsan na de awo ba kompo na hye ominum ye mfa se kan ka we mo odu ebe na ne nyina ama wo hotimi ato ye be boa ama odu a enye se kansam enye se dwusam sense se dodo no akoyi wo mu de ama na san aba ye mo odu ma ne na ne free ho a eye forever ensan mabiem ukotodwe ahono ye se nsuo ginam okotu enye ye wotena se enye ye bone fracture do mperimo bu pain wo de bra be kire amam da che no enfa ha obi amro kakra bi no waye dudu waye titriti wo se metia fam ase ade tare na ase moja ne ntimi ne afurusa ne ye wo na ase nyina ye tofo wo be be yo massage kama bebie bi ntima moja ne ntimi de afurusa ne ma blasa kulechira ye kama no ni pedo ntimi akoyie wakoma bo se hwim wo de no obabwa obawa bitimi bawa sa asem no odwonso no obawa na yi ahora ne moja ewo mu okokutimi resetan kokata so wuntimi enna wani gusu se ya na ade ache obitimi dwonso sa no ai ha osotia na ete Mr. Tumika Bra Power Specialist Eba Hospital ye okuma ase won kran ena afi ya water krade ukotodwe uya hu bibie nyeye usisi ade bia beso oso anya asem ketoa eniam betimi sa sisi ade na bade doso gonorrhea bia anya ne bia bia atwam syphilis bia anya ne bia bia atwam adisansu sore de abro oba ebe boa usisi mutime hyehye odenden wodwonso a enye Mr. Bra Power Specialist Eba Hospital ye wo kumase won kran ena ya water krade kumase wo fe yase ye ni Jasbo Flint Station di enhwanimu wo aputoja contrast kwan ne so Lake Road ena ye wo Accra wɔ Kwabenya ACP Kwanso ne Block Factory no edi enhwɛnim na Takoradi wɔ Anaje Estate Customs Road yɛne Single Washing Bay no edi enhwɛnim mu numbers no ɛyɛ miɛnsa famu bia na frɛ wo fra branch na ɛbɛn no ne ama direction aba hɔ na wabɛgye wayaresa numbers no 0555 797878 0200 3831 and 0244 544422 Monday to Saturdays and ye juma Sunday penny da ye juma even holidays ye juma our branches ni nyina mu ye do se baby awjebre na ohwe power time nyame ya aduma da sene sabre ya nso ye de apomde ho nsam no ebebro
mamenda doctor ohene ba se bebre so de apomde ho komo hwenhwam dedel or de efi eye power specialist heba hospital de abre wo ho mundro no pebie mema no pese ogina pintin a male vitality de eno ane eye jirikejiri nti de atene no pebi na ebebo ye ma bibie tumi akonkan fo anim kyerem ho opegana ha bia yare friend hepatitis B how I will mbeboa na hepatitis yare ni na wokwa omehwewa wokwa omehwe kama ma bibie tumi akonkan enche ye bete lawyer Wewe Brown nka or say senior lecturer with ATU that's one enche bete Kweku Boating kadodo na friend Kede Boating ono se bete nka or deputy secretary wo Eastern Region NDC Kweku da mine no mbedi nkomo ende etu afiri no kwaso nda ya me basesia
Now let me tell you about Safari Valley Eco Resort, the first of its kind in West Africa. Upon your arrival, you are introduced to your butler, who plans your itinerary.
We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the eco park.
So many activities, all in the same premises. Visit the gym or the stables, they have it all. At my break, I'm able to practice my putting.
We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife and how to interact with them.
They used only electric vehicles here. This creates a serene environment. I'm told it's over 1,000 acres. My cabin here sits on 2 acres with a large terrace space overlooking my private swimming pool. Now this is royalty. They have their own farms, thousands of fruit trees. I can also have my lunch here at the waterfall. Quite a beautiful place you have here.
Visit Safari Valley Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
As for me, I take very good care of my grandkids. Ye dear grow na yes edu maybe krana me bano timide omo be gumi so weekend no. Hey, memre I don't think I'm catch you say. Yeah, no medi garlic capsules. Poso na ebesisi so kama. As I stand here, my doctor said my whole system has improved very well. Medi garlic capsules. Yes, medi garlic capsules.
Medi Moses garlic capsules. Boa mamoja dini paduani mu efusani ye. Na esiesie oba ne barima mahona wodin. Ubinya edoi bi ato omanyi mu pharmacy stores frey wo 050-349-4885. Edoi enye mamofra enye ndi fie dumienu. Apemfo ene emma emanofo. Medi Moses unni how FDA ajije din kratuwe ato.
Mido, Gana Biana. I'm going to you about this way. If no part, I just say, baby, shit. Mangashi.
Junior! I'm saying so enough for maybe the no.
Sister,
host pa. It's a gas.
I'm using the why. My why.
Down yankana wa.
Ah, sister, course. Use gas. Gas ye fast, ye easy, ye convenient. Wow.
Let me see your hand. The serene environment fits into the goal of the school, which is simply to provide excellent educational foundation for your ward's development before they commence primary education. At first glance, clearly you will see why the school is called Hebron Hills International School, as the building stands tall overlooking town. With a Montessori style, we have experienced and dedicated staff and trained teachers. Our small sizes classrooms are meant to enhance teacher-focused approach where children get one-on-one attention from the teacher. Hello there. We are open at 7:30 a.m. and school closes at 2:30 p.m. After school care is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. while early drop-off can be arranged at 6 a.m. Hebron Hills International School is located at Midye off the Nsawam Road. Locate us with GP postcode GW0688 GA West and GPS code 06884870. You can contact the school and make further inquiries on 050-876-2375 or call the office directly on 0302-918768. Email us at hebronhills.school@gmail.com. Hebron Hills International School. Excel and shine.
Okay, memo akwaba biom the TV XYZ baby awa wo hwe me bia. Make us say ekuku da magin konya tena form a ye ba na ye bedi enkomo. Ma me fanchia kesema eye Dr. Albert Abraham Albert Gazy Brown Gazy, yes. Dr. Albert Brown Gazy, a former fire chief officer and kano no or share a fire service so me cheche papa bibi aboko de me ne papa tena for mu din komo say yes na dream do na nyansa ni nimdi owo no or so koso de bo my Ghana ti penfon kai no or board bi so betumi aboa pardon knowledge no or the abo bibi etumi akonka nti Dr. Albert Brown Gazy baby will be a former fire chief officer na former chief fire officer Edema Ghana National Fire Service. Papa, ye cheche opa, enye bushani na nchia kese enkoma mpa. Inti di etene maminchia Fifi Brukutu. Wokwata krade o friend wo o se o hwe nunua ketwati fi. Bibi aboko se mi cheche opa papa. Nyame ya aduma next week Thursday so me me papa na 1 week. Wo atakrade inti na makai na muina mwebejam kama pa nyame ya 5th June takrade anaje choice mat hwana Mr. Robert Nana Yosen me papa wo mu nyame ya doma na 1 week observation boko the next week wo takrade anaje estate anaje choice mat inti adofum ko jameme na me papa na 1 week observation yan kama pa minister lawyer obekwe ko jame na bibia etumi akonka nti de etene no ma meda asiye papa minda team so mo bomechi dom asiye enche kede boaten na kobna kweku boaten eso baba be cancer na ma hobia so yede aba lawyer mama wakwaba lawyer Wewe Brown edwom to say law nyame adom yeda nyame asiye papa and then so the suspended chief justice her ladyship Gertrude Tokonu and also Kopiemu wo the highest court of the land the Supreme Court na Okopiemu no me pacho bebre dia nensemi na wabegu nsɛm bebree na no do kɔtru dwa titru bebree na no kyerɛ sɛ ɔne a committee na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama set no ɔne ɔmo nya adwene na nneɛma bi re hɔ a ɛm sɛ ɔmo pɛ sɛ ɔmo tietie ne fa ho di so no mɛka ho CJ anase Attorney General eji so de defense abache matre reason nti ama me nsɛm nyinaa no emboa ɔde ato hɔ ma ehu na enne no 5-member panel no tena asɛm no so Supreme Court no nsɛm nyinaa no mato agu ɛsɛ yɛ ma me nsɛm nyinaa no what the court for unyana we are lawyer ni yen hwe ndem call so wo the apex court of the land Supreme Court intil
yo me de akwenya ebechia etiefo ne ahwefo na ashamafo nyina mechia mo menuano mo ne adofo ndisifo nyina mechia mo. They should keep hope alive ba enche bia ne mapa aya hye ase no ebe dedi ebe bobo ho ma yenya ebenya asumfaso na dollar no nso se na ekofom ide sisi dollar ekofom ma Ghanaians ebinu kura pacha say na ekofom no eko too much but na adepa na menu awan me beginning no ana me say niama na CJ any Godfrey Dame no mo anana mo amutu no emboa. The reason is simple. Article 146 we share clause 6 echo down wa echre ho pefe sena na mo I was say president etu emra obi edi petition ebe brand say CJ na aye bibi ento mo hwehwem na mo hwehwem na ebe hia so mo nyin fi ade so ha yenyi no na mo man kan say CJ na nyon nipa ba ko pe na di petition ekoye o nipa miensa na ye di petition ekoye ye di petition ekoye na president refer petitions asem na ema with consultation with the Council of State or like you consult them. Na constitution so echre se bibi sa eba na efa CJ ne ho a na ye form committee na president may suspend the Chief Justice. Na mama enka say mra we ni ba ye no CJ echro e ma president say o ma na kwenya no hwe ni awo petition no na o ma na 7 days non responded. President say yenta anya ne sana nso wa beside the mayor sa ama o ma na 10 days wa responded. Na ye refer issue ma Council of State ama omu form committee ya form we ya omu show omu ejuma say na presidency no the way asamiti no I was me suspended the CJ na suspension so our constitution no anti president no at the constitution eto anamon e suspend CJ say omu ntiase omu lawsuit say we say ana omu kofa nkrofo bi eko first say anamon president ni tu no enye anti Supreme Court and restraining president committee no mo form here no mamu form committee
yes
and the Supreme Court ba say constitution edi asemo to say obi a or the petition by president ento anamon we na say president eto sa anamon na mo ba say manya yinsi hu kwan na just say you are forcing us to go against the constitution eto mo bo sa yin no egui na CJ na nkasa SU also you know the injunction application for injunction say nkrofo mienu na omo Supreme Court justices na constitution say president so be form committee na omo two nkrofo mienu enye Supreme Court justices ba ko be chairman na nipa other 3 people no none of them should be lawyers, parliamentarians, because you know a separation of powers. Say ba mo ko lawyers because of they are also officers of the court no e bia na omo aka say o CJ ninti mo man fati for the COCDD and now president dome level so ka ho
yes
and one senior is it military or police woman be
major
and nipa fra committee betena ahye omadwuma ase committee na said this omunhwe say petition na nkrofo yi edi abaye no yenhwem wie na hu say oh ni nkrofo kan ye no kre o say CJ no okwa obeko na yehwem na say CJ no boni bia embata ne ho a suspension na president na aden a suspending no president be den e be revoke now what ko see injunction no see two lawyers mienu judges mienu na mo free Supreme Court no CJ say Supreme Court injunct omo say omo ntimi entena asam no so na me hu ade we na say eh ma me de no pa kire ebia odwen se san nkrofo mienu madwen kire no no ebia nkrofo mienu odwen se ye omo fi wona se ye kofo nkrofo fufuro bi ba ebia won nkrofo bi ho a ebia omo ka na asam mama no because most of them were appointed by yes aka nkrofo 2 and 3 bi pena other presidents na appoint you. How is that possible? Say the court should injunct the process for now. How? Are there constitution ama who can say muntu sa ndamono? This is a constitutional command. It's a constitutional mandate. Oh yeah muko ya na Anko Siagano say okofali supplementary affidavit. And no na and Supreme Court ebogu ye no. Now say supplementary affidavit na ono Supreme okofali or Supreme Court is suspended CJ no essay omo etna ne fa hu die so they are abusing her rights now petition committee no ebe hwe na asem no no kwambe so no how on what grounds were they sitting on her rights ebi ni say omo man kwan odi ni phone ebe ko committee sittings omo man kwan na ni family members ni we akọ sittings anye bia vetting. This is not what a vetting. Now vetting is when sooner muka in constitution say committee in ebetna omutina in camera ni kire say nkukuam anya za na muka no ema they shouldn't expose the sitting omunyama omuma the chain I can't sample it should be done in such a way that it should not be exposed to the public. Should be done in camera the binti and a constitutional is because that position CJ position and yes small position and people should not sit up. People will be reading different meanings into it. CJ no so say dates now committee ni fix here no omo kan try ono the lawyer and you be a committee sitting in a court. It is not a court. They are set dates. Wuni pana petition equity ono wuna everything you be inform you ubeka to lawyers na waka trom na say committee no see omu ma evidence what I say they will not allow her to give evidence say they have subjected her to mental torture nisa way hey now oka we nyina no ana me bisa say asema me bisa ye ne say at 10 days na president no man no say on responding no that time nyina dey no dey because any response and be no within those 10 days now your also person responding to the petition no your period while responding there be and so and then omuko court ana nia attorney general argument and say CJ former suspended CJ in somehow yes and no nkukuom na wo de pia wo kan no eku etiamra is against the rules the law because the constitution says that the matter should be heard in camera and now what about expose sanimenti sack in camera no a constitution SCN di asam na ewo mu no a constitution na dey to yen so say yen di asam na sa and we are not abusing your fundamental rights. You don't have a right to waive that. Mama yen kai say CJ Neka said the law is the law. Onwa former suspended CJ, is it from suspended CJ or a suspended CJ? Not a former or a suspended CJ.
Suspended.
Onwa say the law is the law. Now the law is the law. No ni opa chira ni say na emra ni tie no. Muma enfanye juma sa anya sa. Emra na emra. And the constitution say the matter should be heard in camera. We see they be unti we should hear it exposed and in public. Number 2, the committee has set its rules. Say yem pese nieme be pie nkrofo be recording bi ebe ko ede aseme bentino. We are not going to allow anybody omo recorder na bibi gadget bi abeba hono. Say CJ na amba out ambeka say omo tie asem no e wo castle. Nka mimpo minim say nsem no kra city na e wo castle. Naturally say minim location okay. Which was good because people cannot go and create any problems. Sanity and music camera, they will decide where to sit. But I say CJ, suspended CJ, and any lawyers, no, omu ashe debi, omu pese omu create some emotional blackmail be against the committee. Sana mimi hono, anti Attorney General argue say. In camera hearing, a constitution and I did 2 years so, and yeah, they are better me as a son. So we have to follow that. CJ so I argue say, wow, how do you restrain the Supreme Court justices from doing their work? A Juma constitution, Ediatom say, Supreme Court justices, and Entina. When you do that, it means that you are asking the Supreme Court to injunct the Constitution, which is reasonable. Because our Constitution, Constitution, and you have no right to what do anything against the constitutional provisions. And the constitution was clear. Say we needed 2 Supreme Court justices on betena assembly so. What's yenyo mufio? Namunko fan krofu High Court and our Court of Appeal. But the constitution has not restricted who the name one try a dear or say 2 Supreme Court justices. And in the minds of the president, you know, unkrofo and unkrofo me no president select your musumu. O matena Supreme Court a check akra. Me assure say Senkanye say Bafoboni, his lordship, the acting CJ, and Kanye say acting CJ. Me assure say he being the most senior at the Supreme Court, no, ebia onukra na betena assembly so. But because of acting CJ, no, it will not be possible. And the president went in for other senior justices at the Supreme Court. Some mutena assembly so. Number 3. Once CJ Eka say argues that his participation say on Justice Gabriel Scott Poaman. Now former CJ say omunyi nimfisu and CJ argues that his participation in cases put before the court by one of the petitioners cannot constitute evidence of bias. What is the bias? Assembly Hindi assembly they were calling for bias. Bias man. Anna AG further states that members of the committee have taken the necessary oath of office contrary to claims by the CJ. There is an oath of office who were taken and a committee and they took it. So a Supreme Court 8-year argument me no say and you be a suspended CJ. What someone would buy no enya dia entaso ono mubogu ye. Wow. When you saw the wind, you reap the whirlwind. I know na chachu. I catch the Supreme Court some time ago. Wow, the only thing I may catch CJ, former CJ, is if it is possible, Senkabe on resigning. So on person fight here. Fight this thing calmly. Moi musi moi na adiba konso which was revealing the matters that are to be heard in camera. How did you get information about some of them were exposing it? Meanwhile, moi say just like the court. If a court is sitting adjudicating upon the matter, you cannot be making commentary on those matters unless the case is fully adjudicated upon. Now, as someone you are giving twist to it. Are you not breaching the code of what conduct or the rules of justice? So to me, all that they sought to do was to create some emotional blackmail for the committee and president of our appointed committee. Never Ghanaians who say, committee enye jumeye ana siton bi abemu. Now they were thinking that Ghanaians would cry for them, but that was not going to work because a lot of people are not satisfied with things that went on in the previous administration. And to me, as a lawyer, what I was saying is that the Supreme Court did the right thing based on the argument of the Attorney General as against former suspension, and therefore their matter injunction application supplementary affidavit have been thrown away, and so it is. And I think that the Supreme Court did well, and they should allow the committee to look into the matter and come out with their verdict. And you see, what for me is so soothing is if whatever the committee say, constitution is whatever the recommendation of the committee is, that is what the president must what implement. Okay. And yes, the president Besisano. And it's a committee in tonight we almost say, former CJ, a sit to be any problem be any one, she will be reinstated. So I'm say the allegations that were brought, petition in some woman, in some woman anyway, no, a kutiamra and tenya dia obetimi the president will what implement that, and then we move on as a country. Me no CJ ni no sebio so
both delay
sana me hono se me enka me mama na me nua bia ka meto ne for resigning. What I say? I think they are on cap 30. If so, no cap 30, no. If they find any advice in a pamoa, you don't get any benefit. So maybe advice, So if they are on cap 30, still on cap 30, if you are sacked, you don't get any benefit. I think that is what it is. I think so. But if you resign, perhaps you can go with something. That will be my piece of what advice. And all this I'm saying based on the facts, say, so that you prevent situation. A Kobane say, I find the adverse against you now, you lose everything. Better say, Evers, Omega say, buye, and you buye.
It's saying,
buye, kitting, kituyan, and kitting, kitia. Yes, say, wet now, as I may chama, my boom, Sankobai. You lose out. What I say. So for me, today at the Supreme Court. So you see, and you could see, sir, nobody can argue against the Supreme Court decision. Supreme Court in there, because Bibia Eda are crunching, and they are telling you we are holding things in camera. Now you want it to be exposed. If we do that, we are breaching the very constitution which commanded us everything should be done in camera. How have you breached your freedom? We have not breached any freedom. You have been invited. You have been given proper notice. You even before, you see, it has not happened before. Before committee you requested for 7 days. The president gave you what? 10 days. What about those ones? And for me, I think the friend supplementary affidavit filed by the suspended CJ by his lawyer Godfrey Dame, the Supreme Court didn't find any merit in it and has subsequently thrown it away. I mean, and only asama me. In fact, to be honest, in CJ we ask them no. Nanka me pesa meka sound be brave. Because I mean the thing is allow the law to work. Because the law is the law. Who say the law is the law? On one can say the law is the law. So allow the findings to let them do their work. And after finding out whatever it is, whatever decision that comes out, the president implements the decision. Then we all know our smoothness levels. I mean, I don't know why I say giddy way, maybe Sebio. That's all I want to say about this.
Okay, and see, I am lawyer where we Brown and yet say the submission on a rejection and the Supreme Court rejected her ladyship.
No, or counsel say she says that judicial independence is under attack. How? judicial independence is under attack.
Yes.
The first question may be about this is, has the president breached any of the constitutional provisions in this matter? If the answer is yes, then you can be saying this. But if the answer is no, and as far as I am concerned, the president never breached any of the constitutional provisions. In fact, the president in his magnanimity was not even strict. He was not even strict. He did not comply. He was not in strict adherence to the constitutional provision. You requested for it, and by the virtue of opposing, president granted you. No problem. Come out with your and all those things were given. Then you said that judicial independence is under attack. Why? Did the president go to sit in the Supreme Court? The president never sat in the Supreme Court. The judges there were not appointed by President Mahama. No, they are independent-minded people. Some were even appointed by President Akufo-Addo, whose government the suspended CJ served under and said the law is the law. So if the law is the law, let's allow the law to work so that we'll all see the end of this matter, and then we'll take a better decision as to the moving forward of Ghana and resetting the agenda, including the Supreme Court.
What I would say, Power 97.9 FM, Sasuna Mohe, TVXYZ, Inside Politics, Mediana, Wasugusu, and I will say, now, Mamenka say, X natural mineral water, a boy, Chidon Papa, a year re, and to Union Sua, a friend X natural mineral water, Nomia, Pebinum, Nebepo, ye, Papa, you were 350 ml, you were 500 ml, ne was 750 ml. You didn't X natural mineral water. Stephen Appian, Shun, and I make come some cherry. Be a way party, family celebration occasion bia. They can for X natural mineral water ediamo. Woba XYZ broadcast ya him fi ha. Won sa betumi akebi kama pa. Unko Boba na Sanka Robert Mombebo ma won sa atumi akebi. Wo person frɛ eye edwumayefo anasa bus na nkasa car na ekita nsuo ne denam no bro bi so 059 627 3546 059 627-3546 and 0596 273547 0596 273547 no ni penifo nkasa na bibia ntumi nkonkan X natural mineral water is simply natural. Saso no Victory garlic mixture eye dru won so abagura man so obi e ka ho asem obi ho ana na koma bon pepe eto se bia na won sade won na ye titiriti eya na woni so aye kusukusu wonya Victory garlic mixture ebebo oye papa na bibia tumi akọ enkan me ba cho enkra ha de fo ni trim abro pendiru to akoton no woko Kings Walk Herbal dudu bi open won se beka bia ni shops bi ato apete wo Ghana heina 020 1293280 and 0242545633. No nim penfo din komo na bibia entumi enko enkan esa enfemo. Power Specialist Herbal Hospital yate o masem da dawie Dr. Ohineba Bekasa me nim yawa wo fem wo ko metumi abo ye wo hepatitis A B C D and E and sana fatty liver sciatica prostate wona wonse na mu ebu also na kompo high yare ahro health fibroid ne hawa make am for Power Specialist Herbal Hospital edi amo to anamo na me pacho du hono muntumi mbo Kumase branch of Yas Lake Bosomchi Road opposite Jazz Bro filling station saso na takrade Anaji Estate adjacent Anaji MA Primary School no so would we chemo ho ombetumi abo Fred Doctor was 024454 4422 0244 544422 and 0200 383831 0200 383831 no nim penifo nkasa na bibia entumi enko enkansa His Excellency Alhaji Bawumia akasafa Bernard Introbusi ako chairman won to me or Ashanti Regional chairman edema NPP akasafa ho o say emra ne emra but memma yemfa emra no so yemfa entieti ankofo fa ho de so asama Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia akani dia na oka fa ho lawyer yentio
King Nicholas sometimes ayana mpemfo bu baby say aba ye di botechi no ye di boba emra na ufo ebedi President Rollins cry inviting to CID headquarters. President Rollins, a former president, or no cry to me inviting to CID headquarters. So ye in some ano. Former ministers of state, they were invited. Now emra question me bisa Muhammadu Bawumia ne say invitations na modama entwibosi akono etia emra na. Number 2, say you invite entwibosi akon na ye question about nyama bia ekoso a etia emra ana. Number 3, say entia emra ebanisa na Bawumia si entwibosi akwa ye wuntumi no ye tia ne fa ho de so kwan ben so na ye de tia ne fa ho de so. Because the security agencies and the institutions of state have the power to invite any Ghanaian. Omumujin say in some be a pia omubisa wasam. And to say bibia ko si na so ye frau na bisa wunsam efa ho a emrabe na eku etia won say ye tia obi fa ho de so. In what way? Ye o maimu entwi ana wuntumi atimi sori aka say mahama me face no ye o maimu wuntumi timi yi gold I war TV su HS or no gold individual gold or the chere I war TV su ye o maimu wuntumi timi ka try or no one army ye o maimu wuntumi ka no one empire Ghana is not the kingdom. Ghana is not a kingdom. Ghana is a republican state. To me, I can some which can be considered to be breaching of security issues. Yambisanishi because nana by eno ewo so. Enti to me kasa ubia intimi challenge no. Onwa to me no ni party members. Ewa Ashanti region. I organize a press conference. I beside the questions say to me, where the contracts be more than 20. Acquiring be why or say we are one yet. Na scanner ewahi. Omamusi wedi. Nasa as former regional chairman when your contracts be every buying check. Nasa abai aba na say ye hwehwem. Na ye frau say obeyi asem anu ewo state institutions are Bonnie Ben and a womb. Anna Emrabe na omufum ya Bawumia say ye theatre will be found on this one. And no mean no. So for me, you see, NDC government, we are even being magnanimous, we are even being so diplomatic. The way I'm hounding former President Rollins, may he so rest in peace. E.T. Mensah. As some of us say, the plan worked. The plan worked. Nyoka say the plan worked. Because of that, E.T. Mensah, swan Edeniko too, he sells. CID headquarters, mosquito infested. Fine. The plan worked. As some of us knew, they didn't find out which plan worked. So what are they saying? Nobody. I don't want to be a bono. They invited you. You should come. They were questioning ebisa yeah say oyare. But me no say yare na wunti mi ka say oyare no. Minjindi. They be unim ni ntia. Who ka say wuntu mi? Eko ka sambi etia. Asante hene. Ama ye invite no. Ye invite wuntu mi no. Ana wuntu mi say oyare. Enti want me at the right time now, I say Okono. It was at a later date, and I want to be quiet. Unkai. Mekaipa. And for me, want to be no. Say, as some banner say, who be some question where no, also a yare. For me, they should probe. Let the doctors come out to tell us what sickness actually struck wound to me. A man here rushing to hospital. Sa tobe to into a anyway, no, it will not help anybody. And I was listening, me share videos in it. I'm on Crawford, naked demonstration. Anyway, who cares? It is their right. If you decide to do naked demonstration, you'll be showing your African something to the world. Who cares? You'll be showing your African something to the world, and everybody watch it. I'm waiting for that naked demonstration. Wound to me, akakabin sama wound to me. Edichira ya wo my ganemu, o mayimu ebinie. Hey, wound to me. Say wound to me yare. Wound to me ultimately na TV so challenging people. Okasa as if say
the governor.
I am the governor of Ashanti. Governor of Ashanti.
Kasasa
I am my kingdom.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ba Ashanti region so beji permission.
Beji permission no.
O kasanse.
That's something wound to me. And then Iyoko I invite you. Questions keke bisa wa. Uyare. He has not seen anything yet. Wound to me has not seen anything yet. Na me wo niko ebia nyaminchi share say me no yen to those positions to prove. You see, I am very, sometimes people like that, there are more people they have to bring them to let you answer.
But I want to be being tiny.
Nobody come and answer.
Yes. What's your exam bank loan now?
You are not
paid. Transfer.
Meanwhile, you are driving exotic cars.
Yes. You do two accounts.
When they say million, you see, nobody should pay. You see, do not pay. January. Meanwhile, Chief of Staff, transfer of power. No, almost nobody should make any payment
yes.
until everything is what
sanity.
And I'm why editum. Why? What inform that?
Ghana for
11 million series cash. Who 11 million series cash? They no koye. Who di koye? Aye hwehwema. Usu yare. Want a drone ne hu nya de na answer. He should come. You can. Then people say they are going to do naked demonstration. Who cares? You expose your African something to the world. They will see it. And for me, near Baumia can. Oh, I've come to realize Baumiano. Na Samin Nasa. Baumia has nothing more to say. Baumia has lied. When they were in opposition, he came to government. Lied. Now he should have. Why are they? For the way? It is in his adrenaline.
Yeah, we did atron when you're 38 in Tabia.
If I were him, I would just be quiet. Medi vice president for 8 years. Niama Fuma Menyobi, Medibi Kakra. He should go and rest and focus on other things. Because Omupati Mukrano, easy. Kennedy Ajapo is coming at him like a guy. Matisa Sibrana Champonzo.
And we unity.
Elesini boot. Omunya hu hwe no mo kotena no mo ko kokos meeting ka tren say NDC your party no confusion ebesi the which confusion
on che akeka
no one share video no
I make us say enye afenyo mark na kan
no afenyo mark sunu as chairman of ECG board no our containers irano he should be preparing to answer questions. You should be prepared to answer questions. Now, Matisa Ora say as a sibinsu in Samaya Cotton Police, AEB, you say, or no toy, and also that probably a war. So he should be preparing. What I say, and for me, no, want to me, no, ready. A contaminant forest reserve because of want to me.
Some boy Okoremu, Otusa.
Until for me no nia Baumia can say ye tiantia want to me efa hu di so no mintiasie ye tiaso in what ways if the law is the law omo say the law is the law, so we should allow the law to work and
no
allow
say MPP kuku da man kase obi an share dan to anamon kran kodi sa asem nechi
hina never di echi nobody will follow it because nia want to me omo nim say oh MPP phone bi no and the things were so bad to the extent say they cannot even defend it. What I say? And MPP mono MPP omo na mo conscience kakra no. Once that some of these things they will not follow it and be defending it.
No.
Those who really have conscience know very well say near want to me on Mary is despicable. And say young no, they will not be supporting these things. Nobody follow to me. Watch those who are following to me. Those are mudinechi. They are people of no conscience. Because if you have conscience, you won't follow this person. And Kokoti driving or convertible now.
I say Obeko national chairman. It's a no name say a young Kofuya.
Onobeko national chairman. It's a young Kofuya. Other Obeko NDC national chairman.
Maybe one Mentiasi and Obeko Ghana national chairman.
And a young Kofuya no more than. And nothing on
our Peter. Monsa yi ni video no TM for Ghana for and they won't to me or
TM
Monsa yi na lawyer ne
obi
kede buati ni nti munyi sai ni
obi onu the empire ultimate bragging onu see to me is not begging bragging begging
no
yes stand from a braggart stand from a braggart to a beggar braggy omo to me no braggy chairman obi antimi fan na say o kasati say obi a ewiase nyina esiniti so
wuti say mama yan hwe abroad tie mo friend kofo no yan tie na o Ghana na obedi na tie say wala
Especially say the one we never president inti me Ghana need no Ghana for mu sorry o Ghana for mu sorry o and before nyina mu sorry o and before nyina mu sorry o ayamunti ana mahama yemse and before ayamunti ana mahama yemse this vice president da me madam board so da me my CEO da me my minister da aya dia ya aya chairman na medie and I want to me campaign in mame me campaign in mame party and me ya adwuma sadia awreshemu a also me di ma me no my yawie ya nwene wonu awene Young Mahama, only president of Ghana. 2013, we are tired the boom Majuma. Majuma, any idea in Yabaya, no. My Kadibia, Abia was a Bia Manakai. Mubaya, Mastopi Majuma, my count to Pa, Bidia was one. Me, my count to Club, Bidia was no. Semetia, me must school fees, club ding. What I say, most of them will start to my account or so, and you know, Nasabi, me, sick a bicycle bane, a better me, a bicycle bane, and a better won't be what? Me, my account.
Eti, Chama won't win a Tiamono. Where your friend Ghana for friend wine.
A bicycle bane.
Yes, baby, is a man, what friend wine.
Contrast na your manner. One year with this canoe, and your bicycle.
And no be obium.
Sikana esimaye ntua sikana esimaye bi ho mo de man sikana esimaye ntua
no yes
sikana esimaye ntua na ye tua man na wo koyi 11 million cash okochiche whatever it is no enya ban sika ena wuntumi se ono ontimi ntua ni ma school fees wuntumi se dan Ghana for nuntina
you freezing accounting na oni moka mame ma Kede Boateng akwaba Kwaku Boateng dodo na so friend Kede Boateng or deputy secretary Eastern Region de NDC Kede bibi aboko de ana Kwaku Boateng bibi aboko ni na keke ana yen keke Kede Kwaku Boateng na Kwaku Kede Boateng yo
bibi aboko
bibi aboko Eastern Region to say
nyame adom bibi
aboko me ni so na me ni je because wo mighty ye no di nkomo kra na wani chase na okoye adwuma Edi abo party so je penny sign down ho edi ba nti ni so papa wo akwenja odi ama eye ye listeners ni viewers ni eye dwuma kasi ye da say say ye didi nkoma na waba we make say why later anye because time in the fro no ni na aka ho bi ye hwe ende CJ of file eye supplementary affidavit did copy or Supreme Court of the Land na ono omukobati abo 5-member panel ni na asem ni aboegu nsem on do konkan is a panel no ye say panel no na tana asem so biom enye say ye de camera si omo so camera or percent ye de camera si omo so na say no judiciary na mbo sa na ma na nya de wo ya mamra de mo a ye de be ye dwani nsem bebre course so in the 5 panel ni na tana so no ebo asem ni go inte mesi bia no ye committee na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama de kukuda mo munimite tana so na ya de a ombekọ so no mato so de omototo na no asem no mahwe de nsem bebre na na tu dwan so aboegu ye wie ne ya san edi nkomo afa no wuntumi ho anti tu yi mama can so over to you kwekubuate
ndase mefa akonya so acha Ghana fo nya no matifo mo station here station na Ghana fo ti nti whenever there's an opportunity to speak to Ghanaians I won't mean decline so me ba na ne Ghana fo be dinkita ho kakra diving straight into the topic, you know, I'm becoming very disappointed.
You're disappointed.
I don't actually get her. Me who understands no.
Okay.
Ghana has come from a place the ordinary Ghanaian. Omo muton ekutu. Omo muton dog chains waka akwa ho. Ye ma me mo muton nyema wo market. No omo abema bu. Obi ye survey na in the survey ye busa say obi nya asema ombe prefer say omde beko no gbogbo ana so omde beko court. There was an alarming majority I ka say omde omunya asema omde beko dinsini ho say omde beko court. Na oti ho abebusa ho say Kwame Nkrumah Ghana na ochichire ye no, have we gotten to the space obi nya asema oni gidie wo court mu na but won't mean blame the ordinary Ghanaian. So me say o for fear na o could tie cases and then you tell you be 40 years as you could hear about there. And they said, oh, then na go head yes wo. Babuza say no near busiana. Na 40 years na a year then no yetimi jail in 40 years. We have a systematic problem with our judicial system. The morals of the judicial system has been broken to its lowest form ever since the time of Kwame Nkrumah. Menana our ticket the enim say unya asem na unya body e betin baako. Unya mponchi mienu na de koma judge na ye beja. This is where Ghanaians the judiciary has descended to. Edu baby enya ti ye chief justice yesi wakoje 5 million. Former Chief Justice, Enim. As to say it was true or not, this is how low the judiciary has become. I don't think that this is where we want to direct it to. And I make us say, oh, you'll be Uncle Sonia Mia. Oh, you'll be a Nikua sorry no, Kondodine Chico, sorry Sunday na. Konyasa. Enough is enough. I think that Nabusian for this is where Nabusian for so mutuneful. You can't test the patience of Ghanaians. Senkemunia ekoye nengo ekoye judge ba akope. Oka say oh maami yesemi merit kakra wo munti yentie. 5 ni nya bogu. Yom say the maami ne kan de yensem hu. Na o heard the faces of the judge. Omo draw picture to cartoon na to ho na. Utimi hu say no omubuafu. Omo hu say maami ni waste the precious time of Ghanaians. Obi a odo ba ko he zebra. Obi a ukun ufa no kwa mano na yekoto Louis Vuitton. Obi a ope coffee anom. Osi Ghana nyamu ni coffee a obetimi anom. Aje so okotena Kenya. Oba be ka che o se we hu zebra bi ni hippopotamus. Omo picture no hu bi da. Aje se yekọ Tanzania. Uka che oba ne se baby a wo wote no. Ye yi president na otukwan, vice president tukwan na aye president of Ghana. Oni how cry. Onje no hwe de obeye. Awon wasem ne say within 24 hours no more book ticket no more to Tanzania. Ni hwe e bibi rare endangered species.
First class.
Na sa ticket no what can mbeka ho asem. Oni say that day na ticket na bi ni ho. Yes ma me ne oda nkofo ne say wa nya ticket na first class na onko. Tata na miss wa abna oda hospital. Edro nya binum. Se mami wa badaya enkodo de Ghana fu afem. I think say wo ɛyɛ a ɔma Ghana for di ne ho yaw nkɔfo bɛdi n'atem too much na Ghana yɛnyɛ duane koraa ndi yɛbɛpɛ Akufo Addo mmɛ so na watumi afa wo ba sɛ wo ba na nyɛ sɛ ɔyare ɔkɔ so ɔkotwa mu ɔkɔlebu nkɔfo yare nyɛ gu kɔlebu ɔmo wu da dialysis so wɔafi nkɔfo wei nyaa ɛde Ghana sika a ɛnso Ghana foɔ FK kyerɛ ne ba ne sɛ zebra na ɔsɛ yɛwo wa zebra no hu bi da no Ghana foɔ sika na ɛda hɔ no ɛda consolidated account mu a yɛsi yɛndi no me kɔfa mo wadi
emra osade contract wakoji contract amasa ne ba na no ananya ono
ono a yɛsɛ da no ma me kan zebra na sɛm no sɛ ma waka zebra sɛm ne sɛ ɔde mbɛkɔ de asa contract no mɛsan agye aka ho Ghana foɔ de ewuku mu anu aku mprɛko maame no onye obi asi ye ka no ho asɛm ni yenya abadaye ma no onye oba
no ye den
mesi wo na esi wo Liberia no sa maame we ye ko busa no kra me ye show so no hu bi atrocity na esi ye no ko so hwe ni timu se de ni timu ye den na hwe oba ne ne list bread we me na na
list check dia
mesi me na no wo kede ye ko jomo wo kede market ye fa muche na chi wa we bi na no hye who be a no a shell list say no often said the osre no we okoji contract man ne ba no into ore mo mo da agro na mu die o ye be diga na sika ne ye ko eno na no oka tie be sre Ghana fo sa kantata na ma me ne ye no yenya abotrema no ohun say we eye president Akufo Addo so time a come the force yi na free ho o kind go for na Delta Force we call court na isi mamu we no ni hu bi ana no wu no nte ase
by that time no be chondo mo buy ya na sai no course wo kai on buy na that time but no o Supreme Court no mo court 2019 no nyanko
oyo bi odwen Ghana ho a the make
was asked me 2017
yes oyo bi odwen Ghana ho the make na say waba something now just be to say yes what do? You look into it. Oba the political gendarme of NPP. Baby, we want to reset the country. Yes, the omwedi kono omunko. Ya body akano ho ban. Sika bia ni Ghana bioma ye de komo obi akọ hesibra. Contract bia ni wa ye kotam say oh yeah Chief Justice fama oba. Enu ni ye twem ye besre no. Mehu say Obeso ye bibini to crave the indulgence and patience of Ghanaians. But Emi said the all ye no nye unse she Ghana for ebufu. Nigeria. Uba me fire. Nigeria driver no say we Nigeria come kidnapping no. Ya kidnapping the family for nya.
But yes na yes.
Say hanya Nigeria. Magana na kidnapping timi koso. But yan kidnapping no. Anya minka say be kidnapping.
I say.
No reset we dey yan kidnapping. Akufo Addo time na say nka we nko mo de ne ko.
Yen to aso.
So me I would pray ni kunu ye obi a okasa oti no XYZ. Nti ye kasa minim se oti. Nti ye besire ni kunu no. O wife ne de ya fa na say ye maami. Even though say we di Ghana sika. Even though say odi sika ko zebra. Even though say contract ba ko pe ana aka ngesi ye de ma contractor. Oba ne say fama na ade ma no. Ye besire wo. Wo ye me hwe wanim na me ne wo kasa yi. Eno wife nkasa. Enwume mu kotena mpa no so. Sa mu duve green na ya motena so nem mu teddy bear na oba ne de no de simpa no so no. Esre mu. Wo hwe nanim a no one catch your wife no. Baby a do dia ye Ghana ni nyia no. Ghana for ye se de ache no. Se Ghana for kan ekra kedefo. MPP fo nyia se omo de ache wo. Inti mesre wo. Ye hwe wanim a ye ne wo kasa yi. Minim se me kasa wo hwe manim. Eno wife nkasa. And you may 6 now, Mutna, Mudi coffee now, beans now, Mudi free Tanzania buy no. And you may 6 na ya mono. Miss Remo, Monoma no Kai Ghana for. Do a dear yen maninko. No munjai court case, then go see baby. Wow, Nimbonia why? Yanko Pore. Nakai time now, yes, 7 years. Now, Oko Sunday school was a comono. Midinyamijao. Unia, ne want to necessary.
I want to be an assembly Andra. Oko co-reporte ndra wo CID office nto wie ye o sane banana you kofusuka so ye hian nti omono ne koye ten bi omukuso mi interrogate na no so yare on Tiapo. Na omone ne ko menya ne tie kra sem say wenya bail we ya menya ne tie say wenya bail but onu ntumi ne person che Ghana for say akoye se onye ebone bia we ya so Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia tweet say be a friend say emrade eye adwuma e Ghana ni brabetumi but memma yemfa emrana na say yemfa tumi no entiti nkofo fa hode so Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia one kasa waja to say wuntumi ne say waye bone de ambrandi o ka say why na de bibi 88 and fa hode so yentio wuntumi akonta mining ezen back kwaji we sika horo akokobo sika ni na aka ho bia yentio
sir before you be call wuntumi asemo isu mesra ye pet impanyfo momwana yenhwe NDC fo no MB before mu gugu baby bebre no
ehia pa
me de linki wuntumi die no ati so wo ho yankrofo ne gufie ebi abobo double masters double doctors double PhDs then no money now obeko na MB before te ho only agenda na say after 1 year ombe sabotage the reset agenda ma yentna ho ma yenye ye party isa MPP nya political party a enka wuntumi obi otimi ka so ko national chairman se komani nwade a ubedi political party anima enye school nsem eyo obi anadwen mu abie obi ote national discourse ase obi ote policy making and the policy direction I said the country should go enye obi a wakosi atrocities obi a wakunipa se wuntumi da no timi da oni ni nyame adwuma wuntumi koyeye so wo doctor for wo kolebu na meni muta wakilu kasa
Hey, Ghana Water Company Limited. What can I say?
I make an answer. Okay,
okay.
Who read the extent of mercury activities of Wuntumi? Now, who had the death related from the mercury? And we need to understand, sir, mercury and biodegradable, and your BBA, Ubekase, Udiaguha, 100 years. Tisa paper eno abeko odi gu for ma be degrade mercury ntisa iron iron rod the chef for ma do ba bia be rusty mercury and rusty o the two half for the next 100 years just move it to me I'm trying to look for the scientific word a bit break it down to very minuscule parts and how we need
over it's mercury for it to break down to is over 205 years for mercury can dissolve totally and so it takes a long time.
There's
another dangerous one.
There's for the next 205 years no want to me be kunye but you say 205 years for the next 205 years no want to me mind no yeah no yeah what this time them say 200 years na ka yam be 50 years into me simabusuafo enemi wu a yenko busa want to me obekai afenyo marking time and no ye board chairman Ghana Water Company ono abie na no meka say na say mercury egunsuom ninti they have to order chemical ayede omode ye omo kan say they have their own technical word omo treat nsuo na make time
allo money sana
say chemicals na wonsuom before distillation and to clean the water but because of the process of mercury from the mining process they have to now use over 4 times the price in the first you use $300,000 and the year say you use 1.2 billion so apart from the expense and the revenue kakra Ghana eni you be send the expensive chemicals to clean Ghana water na ye clean we nya we na fanyo makino o ye MPP ni e ma ye hu se mercury no o clean ko enfinsu no munko e da so wonsu ni into be he efiti June mu ho ba no the ascendancy of nkwala e bebo o ma no mo ni afra we nya me na meka Ghana Health Center Ghana Health Service aka nkwala e bebo o ma no mo ni afra no high so wanga sa wonante ho na eso obi frɛ wo be dane hu no obi ani ho we are effects of mercury you want to me I will have so much yen ya no ho na utie o ya bakoto aduru 2 hours ago o ha na samba obekọ no mo say migraine ba cho nya migraine enyo mani mu aye din na mawuti ye oya eye mercury awuntumi dia gu nsuo mu sa wo doubt me nya me na meka kona ko busa wo doctor ko Ghana Health Service website na ko kan the effects of mercury wo ho no wani bo pre eye akohwe nansen ubekọ omo check friend mo say eye centers nkofo oje aspect no more me se me ko ye omo bi refraction nti wo wa na so ko check se wani no se wunhu ade so ko hwe ni ye me ko ye refraction ni bio na me ko ya na 2 years ago me hwe number wo ho na number wo ho na adoso over 3 times the size
the entity office adoso
eye mercury na sa wuntu ni ada roma the effects of mercury is a entire blood system ni ma and mix it with the blood no na attack the nervous system nti na obi na ho no kasa enye so wabodam enye so mani mu ayeden eye mercury na akonsuo mu ahonya awe no. So we have a situation where one person, because of he being very greedy, oh pesika Ghana, etimika so wenye sika okoto Chelsea.
Yes.
Ye moja. Onu wenye se sika no. Wenye sika okoto Bugatti. Well, me I think say I will tell you this one too. I feel say some of our people are complicit. Omo ya omage so mbeche papa ni sika no moja no. Cause knowing the hazard and the ill papa yakosi to Ghana for. Oh, the me can cry on one side. Apart from the endangering of our ecosystem. South Forest Reserve, na nyese Forest Reserve can ye friend no. Ya one day chemo egu South Forest ni mu over 80 years in Ghana he been see that. There were plans say the hono ba be ye natural reserve and go for be fi abuchi aba.
Ya kokoro road ba kwa ya wa dem want to me.
We Savidia na.
We bibieni
savi who free savi bibieni ukwa na uko savi
dadie so Akontomra Road 45,199,526 $96 in dollars. Hey, $45 million.
Yes.
Now, unim the story behind this one. So anyway, na make us say, "Mami bi onyem." Yede kwan man no wuntumi anya kwan no. Na mami ni nsuo to. No nim se gata wo e won chen. Into onam gata no ho no, na nsuo no atwa ma na bu gata no so. Mami na man no kopate no koto nsuo nim. Obi onyem. Ofemu wiye. This is the atrocity about Payakos. Not just the death of a woman, but the death of Obi Onyem ne bad unborn baby. Interne ka say, unborn babies need to send this for say. Papa ye baby ye yachino ni e beli no ni achino. Me I believe that you orchestrated. Yan kan no kreno. The ye nya scam. Omo be ya ni eja akwa no. Cause me Jesus na 3 billion na nkodo kote Chelsea no. E bi da ho. Matisi yesu we $40 million am obi wo Ghana ha. Oh yeah, this ni. Oh the yanka fact no.
Akom ni nche ye bisa wo wetimi atre ma ye. Ye hu sand pa. Akọ wani me.
Ba yanka fact no. Na police for quarters for friend no free ho no ko. Oh, the Mahama gender reset no. Enye obi na ekọ akọ ye wo ya mene wo. Inti ye betre wo man profo yi akọ jisika wo achi no moja na. Is that what we want? Meanwhile, papa ye kunipa. Anya directly, indirectly we kunipa. Cause nkrofo omo awu, nkrofo omo ni efra. Hama wa cause financial loss to the state. And nkrofo timi koda mu previously members me boni pa ko ni din. Oya ni sini, no akai ni yaw. A very learned person. Na papa ya cause more than 1,000 times of that. Ne machino, moja no, ochina machino, no moja no. Me die, me say ye hwese de ne mene kono, ni wodi wo ho. Na ye hwese de kono mo ama papa ya nkodem a. Ye bebu bodi. Ba bia bedu no sa ne ye beye. As ye magana fo hu say the reset na ye bepa John Dramani Mahama ka no. Ye de yakoma so mu. Na me one day and ye ti petrol so. Ukokede Eastern region yakache MMDC fo nya so. They should descend to the GPRTUs. They should descend to the transport unions. Near more move 15% na. A show for Najatun no. They are making it reflect on the ground.
Okay.
And only ye. Inti yeti ye grass ni yes sir. No bit ha. No kwan de yem no odwin. No beti papa nu ajana. I don't think that this is the way to go. We will fight it tooth and nail. Or have me make a channel. They should deal with Wontumi. He's a Ghanaian. We are law abiding. Yanka said, I do own your mom, but ye aware of Bonia. He was mining without a license. Mr. Brad, those days are near Chigalamse for Obi Core Farm of Eastern Region and name Onamka. Anti Galamse tax force watch Aquile Kotu. I may not mining within or Koya mining. Oh, the Bacononia Ghanaiana. Into person catch me say obi no only license are no mining illegally. Ubi jana manako. Obi awa cause unrepairable damage to our forest reserve. Ya kan yema menchia ya minister. On matisi yasina obayi. Watimi reclaiming forest reserves na.
Yes. Na ka one pair.
Nipa ya de osan ye. I mean, he's a human being, he has his flaws. But yeah, to say about at least what me and try baby. One more reset agenda ni ye kan ye juma. And this is what we want to see from other ministers. I don't think that this is the way Ghanaians want to see the reset agenda. Say papa now we're creating unrepairable damage to the ecosystem. Papa now nunting kwafo obi ne ba. Akoto gata mu kwan no so onye ma kwan no so no nim se we ye de man na etua no menti du ogana ba ko se mu da ye de man na no ye omutua no wan koka kwan no so wan ko ye hwe te ma me na me ka se do no de ya ko cheke ma me ne ba no koto gata mu wiwie no anse no ko fa anu trips e be gu so no mo ye so mo ye I don't have any personal thing against Wontumi, but I believe say be do baby no Ghana ne back ye baby a better say Liberia because you be say the rule of law would not work. And I don't think this is where we want to go. This is not the direction here Papa Germany Mahama per se ko. Ye nuanu mo aposifo. Ye nuanu mo security service ne ne mo kasa. Se empo bi na mo be free baby. Na mo ne naba, na mo akọ site na akọ. Let the right thing be done, Mr. Mo. And then the animal nekasa. Yakasa yenim moja Wontumi. And then they are fact. Yenim ni bakro be san and run ajo e wo ho. E fact moja no. Be animal kasa.
Amani bill yenjano.
Me kasi yenjano we free sell ho.
Okay. You crazy man.
Ada just say ho dey move picture change because yenim moja no.
Yenyan ntia sem so wenya be.
Moja no. And we don't want this to be the way MPP for power. And Nama NDC won't party no. The learned ones don't have trust in us. Because MB before bar, come bro for here. Can you men who only a hair crown near Chow near the Wakotum? Shank for the near the Omoye. Now yaba, you were evidence atrocities at the Bakoya. Mr. We can eat your kohega. Well, not many lawyer Bako Casa. Or Papa ye timid in the choir. You bet me a labono to a cost genocide. Yes, I'm a positive. Mamma, baby, I got there doing young coyanim. Obit if ye, na yet Messia Cheneba when you name. Monko had the Monoco young Kola when you name over mining. Kola 18 years, 21 years. Mudomo atumu fiase. Because Omoya day, Omonko 1 kilo deserted no room to Mikutanu, Omunchi Bugatti. Omoko the Ombedi. Because no Kufado address or many mu yedin. Yentity fango so said the Neatiswa Yenya one a hey. No when you be on one gasa ajia to no need license not the year mining. What again do you need to jail this foster? A baby, you'll be uncle to a baby mo. Kaisa baby at in this in a dobaye. So be jai criminal we no court. You be judge man mo ye. Cause young got na kede young tna isi region and fire moja enko sweat na moche criminals na no moja om no use legal terms sa ni man ye jai me ti e menya adwuma me de man
what percentage show my yo mo den
they need me say omukuta more than evidence so mo de papa yi they should
let the law to me na so ko fie kra
no that make no say me see me kuta 400 knowledge say dey we no ma plan say ngusi baby a eno na me ne o
kasa na e kan wontumi ne do ma na say hwan mo na dey kasa asem
me ka chew me chew text message is a Mary CV
so see wontumi akomo obi 40 million
eno mate they want to me ankasa kreka and if you watch his posture the year campaign for his national chairmanship and na mahama no na Ghana for MB before na ka so nko ye man ni ngwachi na ye be so mo we should set an example say nkrofo na ya chi omma awanyinem no mahama nso do mo saa kasi ever papa ningotum but at least let him pay for the irreparable damage or the Ghana for on to me for Ghana for nko yenkwa no say bibia na enya na sa ote won de me esan ye me ya na say a whole chief of staff ama order say ye freeze sika bia till no munye audit, which is usually the very normal thing but ni bi anim ye audit ni wie na say ye tua usika bi na say why ye kwan na wie a na di usika ama ye kan sa na wuntumi ye say ofre papa no na ni bakọ ka che me no me try say ke me frɛ no ka me be studio ha no na ka me de na to air but me nya no ni also ka che akwa na say sika ne de onim say grofo o ma be yon o mo ba o ma gi sika yi nti me say otua ma me na be je o hye na de me ye na say akwa no so ni ma me ye Kristo ni no watimi akoye ade wei no okotua sika ya ma wuntumi knowing very well say and this year no oh yen tiny pa ye bana wa ye adwuma na I mean ye be releases kanama we are Ghana ni don't you see no make an oh NDC is one of the best political parties can be before mutiti tisui obi an kan hwe because we believe say those in charge no believes and here yet minja position vacant in an here so mutena ho till time at the right time omo be ya hwa omo transfer so ambaso sakra na me no be can PPA once you have the qualification and they believe you can do the work and this year hantinipa so your MP ni feel so betimi ayadwuma na even though we feel so we have more qualified people but and this is the legacy of John Dramani Mahama. Now Beijing say adan ni aka che say en tiesika bia no bi afkwabrane wa fa chietua entina medium de bia meka and before institution bi omu bia se hwe omu yi. Even with that example it shows how deliberate omu action here. When you men American a whole presidency aka che say yutia na still wa kutia just because Kotia no this Ghana koko abeko the national chairman. Is this what the country is looking for?
No.
Abeko national chairman for the whole country and a political party. Intimidate make us say I'm very very wary of MB before. Inti ye jam asem na Ghana for. Ya de ye ninzu di won to make case nachi. The besi bia ya betina ha ya na asaka.
Okay. Mama sai Embra so lawyer David Warwick Brown. Yenhwe Steve CD stability to me by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and so Okasayo engage key sector sectors on 24-hour economy or a roll out or share stakeholders consultation to drive the implementation of the policy. So no say say bet me boost productivity, no more create jobs, no more and say a service delivery across critical sectors of the country. And see there they didn't come on His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to me kasa afa 24-hour economy home. Bebre na kasa soro mo ka 24-hour economy beba da ben aka ho asem. Yenhwe city stability ni so emienu yenkambo because him say eka crop mo. Yeah.
Menua me say muma yembo ato forcing abaso. He's doing well. You see but we na ka try and say if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. And so exchange rate in HRS, things are doing well in Ghana. The fundamentals are strong.
Then as also could now baby so no omo measures no mo de gu won ti asesi
na mo ni ma na no mo yusu
odwene ho bia won ti
ada na mo mo yusu any na omo kan sansam na enti for me no all I was saying is we are decided as a party and as a government say we are resetting. Now resetting and so no yama Ghanaians will have the best results in their pockets. We are doing our best. And no na no. Anti muma CD agenda. I think the finance ministry is doing very well. Now me sure say gold board ne kika home security agencies blocking all the loopholes and also eboa. Na me na President Mahama so yentimi masidi na M40 bibresa inside to no. Me nya yanka CD na kwa $1 $1 crank manager. Yes.
$1
1 CD. Me skasa me tu kwa brutresa me kwa pay dollars. Me yan say metimi adwumade a me so manya me CD eyi wa ha me de be nia o say me here. So for me basically me can say the economic transformation agenda na NDC a manifesto mo a ye de to say ye de be adwuma ama Ghana betumpo no. I think the agenda has been set. Ye de adwuma. Say people like to minimum omontimi sisa gold and koye kalabule sales outside anyway bibia befa the right channel dollars na nkofo fom amudi CS unse before election nkofo bibia ko dollars in anticipation say ebe so that they will sell and
nkofo super
omusu people na mukoto Cecilia Dapa look alike no mo omo we are sikana amudi bi eto ho amoye no say na impanyfo no let me tell you government officials na ya omo $2 no creating those artificial shortages
no mo de asishon
pass say some are crying say and for me they will cry the more the city should appreciate na dollar and fall na omo say wuti ho na say we are greedy now the timodin say on my enkoyi a ebe twi afa wa so. So for me, in short, transformation agenda now His Excellency John Mahama Ediato ono eyejuma reset no eyejuma all sectors of the economy they are seeing progress and now reflecting in the CD4 no inflation so mate say it will drop to about 18%. And we are praying say sanyama no ebe koso na naysayers no more so ade we there enya dey be last anyway. I am just praying, trusting God. So we'll keep the fort, making sure say Senna, you see, we'll make sure say we'll follow the trajectory. Say prices of fuel are down, fuel prices are coming down. Ultimately fuel more than you were buying. And say salaries, salaries anti so it has been increased by 10%, which means every worker in Ghana, your income, real income will increase. Because if the nominal income, even the nominal income is increasing because near scheduled to here said about $2 last year. You don't need that much now. It has increased your real income, your nominal income. The real income not only goods and services that your nominal income can buy, and also it will increase because it's here Ukra CDs I can buy more. And it's for me, Nico. Ghana is moving forward in the right direction. And we need to support the finance ministry, the government. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is doing very well. Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning, they're also doing very well. Let's support them. Atu is doing very. He makes me feel very proud. I've always told you that he was my mate in IPS.
Yes,
and he makes me feel very, very proud. And I know that with Atu in the steer as the finance minister, with the support of the president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and say so. I become with the chief of staff. I think, sir, NDC, we are on course.
Okay. Now, 24-hour economy.
24-hour economy. Yes. So, now that yedi nyamatu ni kwa musa flow say no with the 24-hour economy let's just say ejuma beba bebre ama a lot of Ghanaians will have jobs to do. So why would him say 3-3-1 one is a 3-3-1 whatever it is.
Okay.
You have one job for 3 people, 3 shifts, and so I mean there's going to be a job for everybody to do. And the youth, Basintale nso omo afemu dia creating jobs for some of the people over there. Industries are coming because a lot of investors are coming to what invest. And nothing checks are here or Washington are yet me che akwabi now omu Ghana scarf through the IT system, you know. And I believe things are going to be streamlined. We have a lot of investors in Ghana, and economy will boom, just as is happening in places like Burkina Faso. Ghanaians, Mumayan can boom, and let's support this government so that Ghana ever fan into Mapa Ifra.
Okay, Mamenda, lawyer David Worry Brown.
As I've told you. So greetings to all the listeners and the watchers. And meeting my brother, I've been hearing of him doing a very wonderful work. It's still Reggie. Appointment
okay, Yaminti Beba Mamina Muniaji. Mebacho a Safari Valley Eco Resort na Medroso Abra Abiyafo Enum Insui. Safari Valley Eco Resort, Mepacho Bebre, a resort to be a would do any trim war a Ghana ha a 4-star forest lodge. A resort Odra with the Beji Pai. It be necessary in West Africa ha. Na Woodra Wisha me cost Safari Valley Eco Resort. We 24 hours. And the guest Woodru ha when the problem. Time be a Ubedru Hono, Ubenya baby etumiada. Woodru our show rooms when the Beji Papa Pante accommodation or Ubenya baby ada or more restaurant Pepe Bia Ubenya continental and the local dishes. No so we to me editing we did define pa. Now Woodru wa me fe pa ne se Ubehu emwa say ye zebra antelope any a tortoise and what dear me say kama pa wa hu mboa ye ntamfa ye ni ye mfa hu mo aye hu mo TV so anaso obeko zoo no na obe ye zoo no kra na the time no mboa ne bi okwa hu hu mo and so we would when chire mo ha obehu sam mboa nyina wa Safari Valley Eco Resort umpe we na wo pedien okwa nsuo wo ho a wotumi de kanu ni sim we yetisim bom tabuni bom bi fine so na omo eye waterfall bi ho no so kwotena wan from pa from e bon hu na so dreamly o kama ye ni jesem na manfo no anka ho wo private swimming pools baby a wo dan won wo benya private swimming pool so no dofo bi ana monko amu dware ni ade enye swimming pool bi a minimum okro bi so say egi so swimming pool say bi obi pa akro bi ebo na no de atom chon na one ne wo infections nko a me pa cho bebre we do Safari Valley Eco Resort we benya private swimming pool so wonko no dofo a won dofo e fa yi papa bisa say hin e wo eye Okra district eye Dewu or mountains here na ubehu Safari Valley Eco Resort. For reservation fre 0596 914394 0596 914394. Na when is Safari Valley Eco Resort ekukudam penifondin komono uswenya kwenja akobu weni akohuma na uso akwa enjoy serene environment it was Safari Valley Eco Resort no. Ebiom eye Medimosis a clinic and herbal center na medru so omo of the Medimosis garlic capsules abedraman so wonti di ati yipa Medimosis eye garlic capsules na me pacho improve blood circulation no e ma mboje ne tumi die frusa ne yipa sa so obi o se mensa na menan ayetititi o cholesterol level no me pacho e wo sore bebrena se ana bete so di amount sa so na niam embo ni pedie be yini na afi woni padue no ma boost immune system no na kutia yare ahruina make am for Medimosis garlic capsules edi amount enya na Ghana ha bibia eton aduro bia say herbal license chemical and as a pharmacy okwa also ope Medimosis garlic capsules o memo bia to na me pa cho wetumi anom na waje ho afi yare ahruina mu na e ka Medimosis dia yenim say clinic dada enti yare friend prostate disorders okwa o meboa bema wa embre wo mpem ombeboa oba na se bema me pacho away your problem so na hypertension, diabetes, sciatica, typhoid fever, malaria, stroke and STIs me pacho bebre omo dentist wo honti wo kwa dental clinics from kubi oha edemufua efan we numu dwumedie bi owudi se wutu wo sin wo white na wo sin me pacho wo fele wo sin bibi efan we numu dwumedie bia no for any trim wo eye Medimusis clinic na omon hwe papa Rumocha Kwanwa dental barrier eye opposite the police station ASL building inside Ghana Highways Authority yard eye Accra Ministries here Ajay Kojo opposite school for the deaf those who be hu mo Kumase ahema kokoben santaso oboase kwan so and so mo ho 0244 068 447 0244 068-447 no nimpenifo din komo nambo bi oho bia so omo emfem wo ma membra eye kwaku boaten ho ana kede boaten yenhwe steady stabilize no na eye economic growth no so sisia aba magana fo fa bebia obi asre yenti
matiminia na o kasa na kai se aha safari kwem so mo zebra ho
zebra ho pa
ana mami wen ko hwe zebra no di sike ko am
safari wa o Tanzania Zanzibar na no so person ko ko Zanzibar
no no se mi so se zebra no so ya kase
ko Zanzibar yi your friends
e ko hwe zebra wa ma no
serious
ye ni ba kura ono so di bia ba ho ne nyame nhia no cause me sure say me de me go twa ticket first class aboarding bia aye he ya minya ka me fro people na na madu ho yenya ba ko hwebi na unia ade ba ko ne se meti se Alhaji Bawumia ka se sidi na aba from no o mama ne reasons bebre me won say haje ha ontu ni kun no for kakra ananse
ka se no kun na be ni se obi ai
why ne de haje
ne kun ye economic whiskey
na haje MBB fu angasa se no fun mining ho ebede no wahu obi a no ye economic whiskey haje agalamsi no no onimu obi onimu bi o ye whiskey na
ko weni me
yeah see the ne de ye da ye reset na se but me ka say we are me the 24-hour economy
be bas
24-hour economy ne kwa ma ye Ghana for embo na ye nya ye hu the effect NSCD appreciate ye fantastic economic team every to forcing a free presidency ye chief of staff making sure say everybody is on the stools the country is working now air working and yes man na medeka ye deficit ye budget deficit America ke twa mu oforiata ono atimi de ne company ye bugrana akobo busia 11 billion Ghana cedi ono kwa ni company ni nya 9 million Ghana cedi misi $9 million fache me oman na nya say ye bu oman yi o no oman na dane obi personal company a ode run de nya ni sika ono ni party for MPP for MPs actual petitions ye nyi papa nadi na ba bi odi oman na ekono ti yenyi nadi a obebu oman na form agufo ado ka se da bi papa we ni opposition ni sika no kobo obosia de ma me run economy no so we nya mfaso wo oman ne once na makwa mfaso no nya biom nti ni mreni kakra na wanya no ndi no nko ene ni edidu ye ema 2022 mu ho ni we inflation of over 52%. And I mean, no, say inflation and I'm 21% due to the prudent economics. I had to. Now, say, ye kasi ye no ye de kaninti. Ye ba ye making sure say ye nkoba obusia bia ebroso. Oko bobusia as a country one ye kan budget deficit na. Ye na anu mo fi anhwe omo nti ase. Deficit ni ye say ye wo revenue ye taxes are ye jeje. Into a ye je no. Ni ye wo expenditure projects ye disikeshim. Into wo ho na oba wangasa onim se oje 1000 cedis na obe school fees wako ware oba te say Alhaji Bawumia wife preme ni pio na okobo ne hoka na ni che da ni ko mu ni promise nko a 5000 Ghana na 1000 Ghana no o run into deficit cause budget 1000 Ghana na ntimi ngotua ne ma wakobo kaage no ene ne friend deficit Ghana ne yeba ye afi we ye papa John Dramani Mahama se ye nkobɔ ka bia ɛso bia ye ye se cut your coat according to your size then ne ye dey run economy no ye nkobɔ obusia ya cut ye no off here office of the government machinery ekufu at time ye say from Senegal staffers over 3,000 no mugu ho aduma bia no mo ye but every month ye tuamu ye papa ba ye also nim say easy for ye hia aduma but beso be gu o mine no what is so here the needed service pen wo ya ko no bia nkot na fie ya te ye ka ye boss ho no said ya titi for the first time oko agric so ya te budget no so trade ya te budget no so cause ye hu say sika ni ye ni bi wo ho age se ye ko babosia so what we are doing collectively as a country they say sika na ye ni anke ye ko babosia no ngofo ko di sika nse no ya te expenditure no so we are matching our revenue according to our expenditure.
Okay.
Now, and then just one sector. Now, oko the other sector so Ghana na ye bibia ye forex. Yesika ye nyefi amanone in terms of exports ni me eba no. Na ye bibia wo from. Between 2022 June to September, ye exporting gold worth of $1.6 billion. And for the right channel. Now, the chief of staff nene ya mempenyi mutina hoye and say yati be a friend gold board. And I know ka say obia sa China for MB before kron for no omuko sheche Indian for echi yapamo munya. Yaso nya Ghana ni small scale mining is purposely for local small Ghanaian miners. In the end say obi oton gold dia enche omo be release a scheme out ye be kokoko fail bia kona bia wa ye mine ye ma won konante nko ye be togo no won chen ni ya dia kogu ye Bank of Ghana ni aton anya the needed forex na ye hia no nti bo se enche ye be nya dollars ni be bre afa de dollars no obi ahia he ye man panyin o ka so de dollar ni ko 1 cedi gra to $1 obeye. The only problem is that bogus want to complain because some of scan bar na ni omu nya bebre tim so an do we ti obeti omo kakra but the main come we say strategy ye be hold city na appreciate ne de ye here policy tintin bia ye te kronen no so ni ate ye ka ye bo no so ye ate ye deficit so na de one gold board ne san ye ne say gold no first na ye the raw form ne ko I say cocoa, Ghana cocoa ni ya process cocoa into chocolate. Ya ton cocoa ni raw. Na no over MC 2017 mu ho. 2018 mu ho. Cocoa ya ton ko Switzerland. Omo making over $300 billion from the processing into other products. Ghana na hini enya me check MC enya $1.7 million. It was a partisan. O de $300 billion no 1.7 billion na yenya ye na nza ye ko ya na ye ba ye mampanyin se gold ne de yan ye be process inti senka one cedi ne eton gold na ye process wie ne yenya into the 99.7 carat na 99.9 carat na ye de ko Dubai ya Dubai unum so muntu gold ho Dubai omni excavator bi ye mining but omo process gold no from 92%. Nso go nunya ofoma 92% 93. Omu de ko Dubai anu ye create na akoye 99.9%. Nantinga 2 cedi no moto wo Ghana no. Udu go Dubai we ultimate ton 30 Ghana cedi. Because that na ye process ye. Ghana ne ye sesa na mane ye jai. Yanka se ye beje. Say difference 18 Ghana cedi na nke ko bon nka no. Yan ye be process ye ade. We nso ye bibia e de investor confidence. Ye free be investor confidence. Omu nya de sika na e ba Ghana. Ye process ya no mo beto. Inti me dear baby amiti ne with my knowledge of economics no Ghana no me say aji say mbi before no mu no kaso mo sabotage o man no dollar ne be ba fom ye beti so wo ye ne say high sense no ye ti bia so ye ti duane so ye ti transport fare so body no mbi before acheche o mo so mo manemba no me hu ze dumelonam wa onim a obe hode nema and ye basic storage ka sie biane no gra no me say ye nya say ye problem a ye farmers ni nya na say amu ye farm ni wi a amu nya ba bi a e common market om de bakoton and I feel we try every region benya silo uye wi a ye manager no e ko farm to farm ye ma fertilizer no ne ye ma osekan ne ye ma tractor ye se mo ye ten na mo nka mo humbom ye be ma mo ingredients amudi hia mo nko ye farming no mu ye so ye gina ho ye ton world market price ye gina ho ye mbe ton price obi be ton price abo bo no a unya sika ye ton international price nti me na wo ye nya adwuma me makwa farm blends o makonya 2 acres bi because ye body fu ti besrew entina fie wo ya young man te semia yanko do body fu unya 2 acres na o board ye ne de obenya sika wom madam fu bia ko do ginger 10 acres obi onya 120,000 ano nyanzi sika yati ya chuba diminia so pay 120,000 etiti sika 1.2 billion ni bia for humbo ndis aban ni enko ya farming na ye bibia be hye wanunyam otu na unya sika ka ha na hu bi da wabusu mu kra obi ahu bi da brani enko ya farming ko secure sa seketu ya bi uni donjumelo number re agric extension officers no na je ne number na hwe na ya farming ni bi na beboa
feed Ghana na
and they feed Ghana no omo de niema betu akwan mu me so man ne be ye kra behwe ni export ye nkrofo teacherfo anesefo ye de omu kogu omu ngo hwe nkrofo no mu nkoji omu dollars bi ni de ba Ghana na Ghana na nga ye kam sei e dondro mani mahama Ghana ina be ye kra behwe sei teacherfo ti ho mu nkochiri na danto beguda ena mesi ye de ne koho okohwe ho president no wa won empane ma ne ho aye ne den no wagege dollars ni nya ba Ghana obia time meba ye omani yi dollar ne de me se policies ye de agu ho no dollar ne be ba form aba form ese beti say wo ye wi ya tibiane so ye wi ya ko transport fare ya tie no so ye wi ya koto sentu ye be ye refinery wo Ghana ha fango na say ye wo Ghana ya na etu ye oil
oh yes
uko ke 3 point uko tulomu ye tu ya de ye wi ye ni refinery wa ha those days na
Temoya refinery
to process 55,000 barrels a day
na say to white elephant me hwe say bia benim say excellent very said
me can't hear we achi o se Ghana for etia me say Akufo-Addo yenya obi ananka oba be soto mu aye niye Akufo-Addo classmate baako oye Labanese ni ana one na no of France one na ko school of France ebe si akwan ka say
we are there no
where the man kasa yesi o where the anya allege the crane na me kan che o me say koto o kwa o me kan che o omunya nkrofo miensa omu ya Ghana fo omu nkan se membo mudin I don't think it will be fair to them come budget to no ma ye niye then na ye fese ya Ghana fo ye beje Ghana nanke ya susum obi ba ya so ye broni o so ye Lebanese ni o so ni Akufo-Addo na ko school of France price na nkrofo ne man no be did lower price o wi no sanko ka che nkrofo ne se the only way on benya ho na ye ne se omu fe sika ne mre no no nko tua ene na mananyi there's I say kweku anansi bohu Akufo-Addo no so no kweku anansi technique no use sana na ndan fufo ni nya ni age mate nkokrafo no that technique na ene ka minu ka se nkato ayeye but yenya renhie mu o ya energy minister mu o de niema begu ho to na yetimi refine say yetimi ye 55,000 barrels na oha Ghana nkasa the use ni even less than 30,000 just said the other security services na domestic market ne there 50,000 ne beso so I believe say enche we are coming to process our own oil here yeah fam oil ne nkwa ama no ne ni akọ refine ni asan de aba na how na in two forms one we are bringing the job market back cause yeah refinery no we are coming to nipa
okay
machine na ntimi nya adwuma die be nipa nti one we are getting employment back on track ye de bi kwa brochi no ye ti unemployment no so wa ha kakra na aka no so ye de omuko ye adwuma now ye adwuma no so na so kai say fango na nanke ye ton no $80 per barrel edeko no ni abeye 1 liter per petrol no and we ye free ho ya be refine it we are getting value for our money. Intiga agency is there ebenya no. Say see ebenya be $300 instead of $80. Me no ye be we ana. Sika ba be o mani. wi ani asenya employment ni bebuso inti me de me gidi say reset na eba no ye kan ye 24-hour economy no and take shape here
fa no to asoma me na yemre no
say 24-hour economy ka say take shape ebi ye farming no na ebi to na najo ebi to na najo no ni ebie to ye refine bi ewia anopa anopa for no pon no muko fie na mo show mo vest no na omo betimi ahye white vest no na ewia for na ahye blue vest no MPP anya MPP blue for ni bi we ya blue for no mo dwen omo pa adwuma aye no no mo ahye mo blue vest na koto mo so mo pon ewia 2 3 4 5 6 muko mu fie anwumre veto na nsen ukọ baby a veto ni aka wo no esi omo nya new site omo ye drilling matese water region kra nso ye wo onshore drilling na ye Ghana no oil ne ba be
nyame shraman
no na nyese Ghana nyame shraman ne keke aban papa number
but aban papa na be
aban bonafo na no mu o mani ntino Yakobon kata o mani say the Moses Moses the Israelites ne ko promised land no afa ni enye obi ode ye ko promised land Yakobon ebie kwan na maye me so ko water region si enye me na America ko check GNPC website yenya onshore oil yeah one of the biggest chese oil na ye hu no ebi ma be na da ye benya sika hono nso ye be running the 24-hour economy ebi ko ye drilling na ebi ye welding
okay
na ebi ton diane ye ton diane no nso no ye be num nsuo na ebi supply o nsuo ye supply nsuo na be hia carpenter for uye mason na ye adwuma ni bia cha mesrew ko hwe be a level no wo na paper ho na pay utro well no na fa gu bag nim enche GNPC for be frɛ ye be hia mason for ye we nyi no na oil no nso na ne bo eyefo no ye se ye energy minister say light na mutua na doso obete so amamo they see ye another gas processing plant
plant etoso mienu
700 cubic
his excellency I mean sure
inti ye sa gas processing plant ni ya oil ni yakoto wa monten aboden ne de abeye IPP ye dey my IPPs no and ye jai ye beton gas amom one which is affordable apart from affordability no sa exchange rate ni dollar na ye ni yakotam de yakotoba enu sunsu atwa into one sa 700 extra one na ye no enu be fa nipa ye be running in 24-hour economy enche yinya ye benya adwuma ye Ghana for ye mayor bonto ye yem ni ye fam pai bontai ye bepe John Dramani Mahamachi
eno ano no
nyame ahia no ene ya na youth for ne kan o nyame hia no nyame ahia no
wow amen
Ghana for ye fa ya ho de ntan na chi
okay you better ye nua Kwaku Boateng dodo na friend Kede Boateng you better na say or deputy secretary the Eastern Region NDC chapter ono na ye tin in kanda no ye te lawyer David Wawi Brownson ka or senior lecturer ATU ekuku damin and ye ni omudi dwumadi wo TVXYZ in Power 97.9 FM so ye may musu ye the news while pine a can ye day bro oba pe krantama on a bepo so hima na de sa news na eba mu hwam na nsam so ho mepese wo betie bi na wankasa so hu meko ma memfa belated birthday ma Maureen wukuni new kind wo so here wife and run odin birthday intimate man belated birthday Maureen baby a wo bia sa so na agbesi sebefia wo so inchia kese enkomo ye papa agbesi sebefia inchia kese enkomo enti baby edridi aha na edi dwumedi ni na abesi Mr. Kelvin Asante na se kese enkomo Raf Jampo Uncle Peter ansana Emmanuel Neti me back camera sa Kofi ha Kofi Asante sa so no say Francis so menene fitadi enye easy kra abaso so MCR on abahwe obag ne ye ntwibin film enti meteno no ye maye musu a news papa pa de from King Nicholas yes one bad de be be good evening.